And I am live. We are live. Flashpoint, Ebontis. Wait, hold on. I should say Flashpoint YouTube Gaming's own.
Hey now, don't start it with those intros. You're gonna make me blush over here.
I'm giving you a little bit of IOP flavor to it.
Oh no, no.
Making his return
Oh geez, here we go.
to the realm of the Ascended Challenge Master. My man, Lord Ebontis, how we doing, sir?
I'm doing good, man. Doing pretty good. So yeah, I got some family coming in town today, so got a little house cleaning and stuff to do. Looking at next week's reset, going like, holy moly, there's a lot going on, and yeah, and just all thank you for everybody just for all the love out there recently. So channel kind of keeps going. YouTube felt like saying, hey, in a crazy way that I'm still insanely humbled and not sure how they chose me by. But overall, it's been a good week. How you doing, man?
Hanging in, man. Been pretty good. Been pretty good. I mean, it's been a rough sleep week, but other than that, man, it's been pretty good. Came back from the gym, had to find me a park spot. It was weird getting home, but had to run in. We got a lot to talk about. But as far as the week, man, it's been good, and hit my milestone
Hey,
this week. So shout out to the 500. You know what I'm saying? But nah, real
absolutely.
talk, very appreciative, and just trying to grow this thing, man. And it's good to see good people. Saying like myself, like Ebontis, sticking with it and being recognized. And that's as a content creator, that's all you want, right? That you just want people to respect the work. And when I seen that for you, man, I was like, man, my boys out there, they paid attention. They watched your video, they had your logo, they had the challenge. I was like, okay, Vontis is here, man. He's here. And it's good to see. So salute you, my Flashpoint brethren.
Well, thank you, sir, very much.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's been kind of crazy, but
How you
just
adjusting to the limelight? Tell me,
oh
how
my
does it
god,
feel?
no, that's not even a thing.
I know you get uncomfortable with this. That's why I like doing it.
I was like, I'm just been glad I've been getting more people that are finding videos, finding them, like helping them do the solo content. That's why I make the guides and the things that I do is to help and inform and guide you along the way as calm and collected as possible. So I'm never gonna be the one of the big animated like, wow, look at this stuff happen. Wow, that's just not
You're not gonna be
me
that
and
guy.
probably is not ever gonna be me. Like in the moment of doing a nightfall, I might have some weird little like quips that come out here and there, but I mean, and that's why I was like, I may not be the biggest, but I mean, I'm definitely humbled very much at what's happened. So thank you guys for all the recent support and just keep it going. But by
Listen.
the way, for all you guys, if
Mhm.
you do watch this, go look at Iron Lord's podcast on YouTube. Go right over there and subscribe to their channel there. I want to see them double. Let's double their subscribers, guys. Let's get them a whole bunch. So
Appreciate you, sir. It means a lot coming from you, man.
hey,
Definitely, man.
send. I mean, come on. If you guys want a good, entertaining video gaming podcast with some awesome interviews, good people, I mean, you'll go on there and they get. It's a long form podcast. You're gonna get some of those interviews into deep dives. That's not like, hey, what do you think about this game? How was this development? Be like, what was your gaming history like? Were you playing Super Nintendo when you were little kid on the couch? Like, those are little things that make, especially someone more matured like me, when I go back and think about gaming, I was like, oh, hitting me right in the feels talking about like, NES, like first system. It was like, that was me. So, no, go
Appreciate
check out the Iron Lords podcast, guys. It is good, good stuff. Gives you
it
definitely
much.
something to, I mean, yeah, if you got a long commute or anything like that, take a couple days of your commute. It's a good one to definitely spend some time on. So, and those guys have, you know it's genuine how much fun they have because sometimes they're laughing their butts off and they can't control it. So you know they're having fun. And that's what we like to
Much
do. Have
appreciated.
fun, have a good time.
But
But yeah,
yeah, man. Much appreciate
so are you daunted by? I'm not even gonna say what Tuesday has yet, but is Tuesday just like wholly like too much? Like we're
you.
almost on overflow yet?
Yeah, because you know what it is? I'm surprised. We'll get into the 12. I'm definitely surprised how they combine things, right? So yeah, it was just like, okay, so we know, the lost is coming, and I didn't think they would just like sneak banner on us like that. Like I was like, okay, so we'll get into it. But yeah, it's very much overwhelming. It's a lot, but in a good way. I mean, we asked for content. We asked for things to do. That was one of the main quips. And now to see this just boom, 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 is always something. And then like you said, well, we got the third week of the throne or whatever. So Yeah, man, it's a ton. It is a ton to do. But again, if you're a Destiny fan, you live for this, but you're just sleep deprived. That's all.
Yeah, pretty much.
Hmm.
I honestly, I'm not gonna be able to fit everything in.
Yeah. So it's like you got to prioritize now, right? You got to kind of like, which way you gonna go. So what are you leaning towards prioritizing?
Well, it depends on if I can. I've got family in town, so there's no way that I can probably burn through my hunter fast enough to really make that grind as like viable.
Hmm.
So I think that one's gonna have to wait a week.
Okay.
My Titan and Warlock are both cracked 580, so I'm getting up there.
All right.
Um, so I mean, Shattered Throne's an important one because for one, I haven't done it. Two, I want to see if that solo is viable or if I really mostly just need to be 600.
Got you.
Um, but I
What,
mean,
what level?
last time I went in there, I was so much lower, so much lower.
Mm-hmm. What level esoteric is he went in there, right?
Oh,
So
he's 6. Yeah,
yeah, he's
he's
six
6.
already.
Yeah. Saw
Hmm.
him do 100,000 nightfall. I'm like, yeah, when I'm 600, I can drop my level 40, like 60 points. Then I'll consider a 60 pointer. But yeah, or 100,000. But yeah,
Hmm.
that'll come later. But yeah, shout out to also beast mode. So
No doubt.
um, yeah, so it's like I'm torn because I know Iron Banner's there. The grinds are a little bit slower, which we'll get to. Not slower, actually, quicker. Um, they're a little less in length, and then so that's some powerful gear like to fill gaps and stuff, which is nice. But I think for me, I've got to go like Shattered Throne, Festival of the Lost, and Iron Banner maybe last. Honestly, like Shattered Throne, and
Mm.
because mostly because depending on how the forest is set up, and we'll get to that in a little bit, will be if you need a group or solo it or whatever. And I'm sure you can run it both ways. And how important it is to get a certain like distance into that thing apparently. Is if I'm gonna need to run it on like Tuesday with my couple of friends that I know I do, or if I can solo that stuff later. So just gonna kind of have
Gotcha.
to see where the solo and the team priorities kind of fall.
I hear you. I think my order might be the opposite for you. I'm such on a grind with Crucible because the only thing I've been consistently playing is quick play of a lot of Valor, Crucible. I'm doing so good on my Retrix grain. I'm grinding. I'm like maybe two steps from the end. Now I got to get a certain amount of precision kills with pulses, and I got like one of these God roll pulses right now. I got almost like a God roll gold figure, and I got a bygones which I haven't used. But
I still haven't got bygones. That one's killing me.
yo,
I
bygones
mean,
are
I know
so
I get the
good.
infamy reset, like you seem to get the god roll. So I mean,
Yeah,
slowly building up to
he has
that.
a God roll on
Yep.
the infamy reset.
Yeah.
It's
So that's the one I'm
ridiculous.
waiting for.
Yeah, he's got it. Now, question. I got a question for you. Is
Mhm.
that you know how long that lasts?
What?
That just set in his inventory? Is it like a rotating inventory per reset? Like, is that God roll bygones that the drifter has?
Mm-hmm.
Does that ever change?
That's a good question. I don't know. I was thinking of the reset when you actually reset your infamy. Everyone seems to get like the god roll bygones. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, so that's
No,
what I'm
or the
thinking.
bad omens, or maybe bad omens. I've
Because
heard
in his
both. Like,
yeah, in his
yeah,
inventory, it's currently sitting there. So I want to know if that changes. Because I'm like, do I have to rush to
no.
get
I
the
mean, I
infamy
think
reset?
his has been there since start mostly. I don't think his
Oh,
is
okay.
going to be going on like weekly rotation or anything like that. I'm trying
Gotcha.
to pull it up right
Gotcha.
now.
Okay.
Yeah,
Got
so
it.
you got
Got
to
it. Got it.
reach infamy with rank 12, kill clip, full auto,
Mm,
stability.
beautiful.
Yeah, so
Beautiful.
yeah, but I've seen some damn good bygones. There was somebody I saw that was like, "Oh, I want it. I want it."
Yeah. I've been getting shot in the crucible by it a lot. That and Luna's Howl. Good Lord. Oh my Lord. Luna's
Did you
Howl is
get it?
out here in the streets. You better be safe, man. It's not safe out here.
I
Gotta
was
be
gonna say,
careful.
did you get Luna's How? That's my
Oh,
question.
I'm not even thinking about that question right now. Like, to be honest, like I just competitive is not in a place mode wise where I like. So yeah, I'm like, I don't have that incentive. Then I got to run around with hand cannons for that length of time. Like, I'm more of a pulse guy right now. I mean, the pulse meta is really strong to me, even though Luna How is like showing to be the dominant weapon. But hey, those guys got they did the grind. God salute them. God bless them. I want my Redrix. I'm still in my like D2
Hey,
vanilla
yeah,
hangover.
you're
I
good.
never, yeah, I never finished it, and I want that Redrix. That's the gun I want so bad. And I'm a Pulse guy. And they said, shout out to Cross. It's good in PvE, and that's what I want to see. I want to really put it through its paces and see what type of role I get. and it's all about Regix right now. I'm on step 5 of 7, and I've already got like 2 or 3 prestiges already.
Oh, I have
I've been
not even.
playing, bro.
No, I know. I was like, I have not. So yeah.
Yeah, and last thing, you know why Banner's gonna be my priority most likely is because you know
Valor.
what they get me? Valor, double
Well,
X
that's I mean
Valor.
that's Crucible all weekend, but yeah, Iron Band will give you
Yeah.
extra incentive for some powerful
So
pops.
I
What level are
got
you
it.
now, by the way? I haven't even asked.
What my what you call it? My Valor?
No, power level. What's your
Oh,
character
power
level?
level. Oh,
You
I
like
think
600 already?
max. Nah. It's been a slow creep for me. I think I'm still low. I'm like maybe 575, close to 580.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
low,
I mean that's
man.
about where I'm at. I mean it's not low. I hit like 583, something like that. So no, I have 580. Yeah,
Yeah, shout out to sinners in
yeah,
them chat. All them dudes are 600. They run
yeah,
around 600s and they sleep.
yeah. What's the
So
problem?
what
We
we
out here
got?
like making videos and making content. We got to work. They just playing.
Exactly. They're now working all these hours and doing all these podcasts and videos. It's all good. Salute to the team, man. Salute to the class. So what we got, man? What
Yeah.
we got going on in the world of Bungie?
So Bungie feels like throwing the world at us this week, so we're gonna have to try and jump into that.
Mm-hmm.
First, we got Festival of the Lost. Now, for those of you guys that haven't been around, this is basically their Halloween event. But they of
Mm-hmm.
course put it themed into the world of Destiny, which is cool. It's not just hey Halloween, slap like a pumpkin in the tower or something like that. They actually have they actually have some lore behind it and stuff like that, which is always cool. And that's one of those things that like maybe it may have been an underwhelming event for some of this stuff, but they tend to put yeah, they're going to be like, normal holidays, normal themes, stuff like that. They put a Destiny spin. They spend a little extra time and they put a Destiny spin to make these things actually fit into the world of Destiny, which is cool. So,
Mm-hmm.
shout out to those guys. But Festival of Lost is for Guardians. Death is usually a temporary condition, no more dangerous than the splinter on a forgotten just as quickly. Even after Eva Lamante first brought the city's traditions to the tower with Festival of Lost, it was less a time for remembrance and more of a time of irreverent celebration. Last year has changed everything. The Red Legion razed the city. Countless Guardians were lost. Despite victories on Mercury and Mars, morale in the tower is low. After the
Mm-hmm.
fall of a legend, Cade 6.
Mm-hmm.
This year, death has not passed us by. It has come to stay. So, little somber there.
No samba.
It's been an interesting year. So, we have Forsaken now, which has been amazing for all of us. Those of you guys who powered through the world of
Mm-hmm.
Destiny to year one kind of feel like we've kind of broken out of our shell and now we actually got a full-size game to play, which is fun. But we got a lot to do. So Festival of Lost usually always has like masks and they decorate up the tower and there's some cool stuff involved. But they add a little bit more to this one, which if you saw my tweet, I'm like, I want to see if they actually follow through with this one.
Mm-hmm.
So first off, the event is going to be run by Amanda Holiday. She's going to be the one holding it down.
Oh, she's gonna get used. That's great.
Yeah, so she's just been holding down those green and blue sparrows and ships for you for a while. So
You
she's
know,
been
she's
watching out for the kindergartens basics, and
clearly.
she's finally got a home. So
Oh my god.
it's kind of like there's no one has heard from Eva Levante since the City Vel shipwright. Amanda Holiday has stepped in to help raise everyone's spirits. So what do you think? Like Eva's not coming back. I mean, I know we got Eververse, so she's
Mhm.
kind of in a different spot. Do you think this is fitting for Amanda? Do you think it's like just kind of weird?
A little weird that she's doing it. I'll be honest. I thought I was hoping that we'd get more clarity with, the Levante situation, Eva Levante. So, but are they confirmed? Let me ask you a question. Have they confirmed she's dead? I thought she was confirmed just missing.
No, I mean they just said no one's heard from her. So yeah,
Yeah,
they've confirmed other deaths, but yeah,
yeah.
she stepped
So
out.
she's all right. So she stepped out. We got to find her, whatever kind of deal. Okay, cool. Yeah, I just want to see, I like Amanda as a character. I just want to see how it kind of works. I never really associated her with, she's like, hey, Guardian, she's like ships and flying and mechanic and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I don't get her as the let's do something great for the city
Yeah, she's
thing.
covered
And
in grease, not decorating things.
yeah, exactly. She's the grease button. Perfect analogy. So I'm like, all right, look, but at the end of the day, they needed to do something with her. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let this slide. She's completely useless for any OG. And even as a kindergarten, I wasn't running that would you run her?
Oh, what?
I would run her for a chaperone quest. That's it.
Oh, that's about the only time I've used her. I think I did when what was it on Mars when you got all the things and you go to her and you get your sparrow.
Mhm.
You get that
Yes.
one from her, but yeah, it's like minimal stuff and
Mhm.
honestly, like you want to give her a little purpose, like somebody do a side project for a day, you figure out how to put it in so I can re-roll my damn sparrow rolls.
Yes.
Let me have my instant loading or let me, pay a little extra. Let me grind on a quest so I can
Mhm.
have the fast loading and maybe reload my guns or the fast loading and maybe less time. Just let me work on
Yep.
some just let me add a little extra. Let me get that little like bonus to my sparrow cuz
Mhm.
yeah, you get an exotic and it's got the wrong roll and well be like, "Welp, you're toast." Even though one of my buddies actually did say I think he got the Dreaming City Sparrow,
Mhm.
which is actually pretty cool looking. Um,
Mhm.
but he didn't get a good roll on it. But I was like, can you just pull it out of your collection now and see if you can get a different roll? And I think you can. So in it,
Mhm.
I think you could actually pay to get one out of there now, which is good. But at least
Mhm.
so maybe less of a benefit now. But generally, yeah, she needs something to do. So
Yeah, and I think it's exacerbated by the fact that we have since Destiny 2's launch, we also have not had Sparrow Racing.
mm-hmm.
So remember, always had a big role with that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So it really just made her, very not used. So it just shows to be like the Spy Racer may not still be coming anytime soon. So thought that was interesting because usually with her, remember we go in there, we get her helmets, we get her stuff, you get your little bounties from her, you're doing all that stuff. So
Yeah, so it's good to see she's getting some love, and the tower
Mhm.
is obviously going to get a makeover. As you guys can see, we've got little bit here with tower decor. So
Mhm.
we've got the little candles they're bringing back. Those little purple ones are going to be everywhere.
Mhm.
We've got the little hanging ingram lanterns and stuff like that. So quite a
Well,
bit
whose
out there.
face is that in the back under the tree? Who is that?
So that's weird because well, we know one person they mention as a face here, but this doesn't quite look right. Who is that?
Oh, I know who he is. Yeah, that's our guy right there. That is one of my most hated NPCs in Destiny history. That is Master Ives or Eves, whatever. I can't pronounce
Oh,
it.
well,
All I
see,
know,
this picture's got hair on it. Master Ives was bald.
he's bald. The one I'm talking about, the picture that I saw,
Yeah, I
they
was
had a
like, I saw that
bald
on a
guy.
different one. Yeah, so I don't
Yeah,
know what's actually in the middle. That's weird.
yeah. I don't know that. I'm talking about the bald guy. The bald guy is definitely Eves, and I couldn't stand him. So I can't wait to find out the situation and thank the person who put this man down.
Why do you hate this man so
Oh, I
much?
despise him. Listen, I actually go back to one of our old ILPs when we just only doing Destiny content, and we did a segment. It was called. I want to do it with you at some point. We did a segment called "Favorite and Worst NPCs." Your favorite NPCs and your most hated NPCs. And I had everyone laugh. They were like, "Why do you hate him so much?" I said, "Listen, when you go to the reef, you had Varix back in the D1, right? You had Varix,
Yep.
you had Petra, you had Brother Vance when he was cool before he became like Osiris's favorite thought. Like, he's just all maniacal from Osiris. Like, he was a real cool, biblical dude. You go to get your trials of the Osiris gear. It was cool. Then you walk past Master Ives. And I vaguely remember, actually, not vaguely, I definitely remember when you used to have house banners or anything you had to exchange with this guy. For whatever reason, it would never equate to the same amount given back that what Rahul would give you. And I'm like, am I bugging out here? Like, I would speak to people, I'm like, how come when I go to the Reef Crypto, like I'm not getting all the credit for my house banners and all the stuff that I'm turning in? And they were like, yeah, it might be a glitch or something. So I just attributed it to the character. I didn't like the character
He's just
when you
cheap.
see it was cheap. Then it was like, on top, he's very arrogant. Like, I'm the best Chris talking to this. And so I am so glad someone put him down.
That is
I
mean,
would have,
man. That's
yeah,
mean.
I want to thank the animal or the guardian, whoever did it. Thank you for ridding the bane of my existence. That's I would not shed a tear for this man. That it's funny. I tell you,
For
I'll
the
let
rest
y'all
of
hear
you
it.
here at Master Ives' funeral, ignore this guy over here on the other side. He is a unkind man and not
Yes,
an honored guardian. He has now dishonored
yes,
himself.
yes. I'm very dishonorable.
No, but
I hate it.
seriously, like, I mean, it's so funny though because I saw people in Twitter on the other complete flip side of this going like, "Oh, how are you gonna take my master?" I was like, "That's why you saying this is just like blowing me away," because I don't remember him vividly one way or another, just because
Because you
like, I
didn't
mean,
go to him. See, I lived in the reef. I used to play trials
yeah, see, I
all
didn't
the
do trials
time.
that much. That's why.
Yeah,
So
so for me, I'm like, yo, what? Shout out to Sin in the chat. He said, yeah, his Glimmer exchange was a ripoff. Yeah, so the people who go to the reef knew something was up with that guy. That guy is a shyster. I'm telling you, man. It was always the exchange was a little. See, Rahul, he would give you the right exchange. He have snarky comment, but he give you the right exchange. This guy, oh man, I knew it was something wrong. Something was going on. But yeah, shout out to Sinister in the chat, man. He completely agrees with me. He remembers.
well, hey, somebody took care of him, so that will be part of this. But
Mhm.
got a couple different activities with Festival of Lost, which will be cool. And I honestly am really intrigued by one of these the
Mhm.
most. We'll get to in a second, just because
Mhm.
we're kind of scrolling through. So we'll have new triumphs, which will be good. So a little more stuff to earn to add to our little triumph score. Some people when Bungie sent out that, hey, what's your triumph score right now? And they're like 50,000. I'm like, I'm just sitting down here with like 25. I'm just sitting here like John Travolta with that little like looking around
You're
gif.
looking
So
around.
be like, I am apparently slacking. So some people are
Mhm.
playing like crazy.
Yeah.
So you got more triumphs. She'll have daily bounties that award fragmented souls. These items can be used to purchase Festival of Lost Mask, as well as the Horror Story Legendary Auto Rifle.
Mm.
So we actually got an auto rifle coming from one of these events, an event-specific gun. How long have we been
Nice.
asking for that?
Long time.
Seriously,
Long
like
time.
whether it's a
Hmm.
Crimson Doubles, whether it's, and that would have been the time to bring the Crimson in, by the way. Um,
Yes. Good
but
point.
I mean, the fact that we actually have one gun, we're gonna have your set of armor. That's probably there.
Hmm.
Um, and the mask, we actually have an auto rifle from an event. I kind of like
Hmm.
this. Whether it's
Yeah,
good,
that's
bad,
pretty
or
cool.
otherwise, I just like that it's an option. So
Yes. Definitely like gear, something associated with an event, like unique gear, so you remember. It's pretty cool. Pretty
yeah.
cool.
So no idea if it's going to be good or bad. I'm sure tomorrow Houndish is going to have some data mined version of it. That man
Shout out
is
to
always
Elvis.
like digging deep into Bungie's servers or something.
Oh yeah, he's a beast.
Yeah. This is what I'm waiting for right here.
All
Fear and
right.
Fright.
Mm,
This year,
mm.
Festival of the Lost brings more than just masks, because that's usually what kind of Festival of the Lost has been, and that's
Yeah,
why it's one of those things that
man.
hasn't really set that well because it hasn't been a major deal.
Hmm.
So they finally are doing something with a very, very unutilized space, personally. For a limited time, all players of Destiny 2 are invited to the Haunted Forest. And when they said forest, the first time I heard that anywhere, I was like, please tell me they're going to the Infinite Forest. And they are. Guardians who have been
Hmm.
tasked with clearing out its ghouls and demons, which are spooked up by a storm. You'll have 15 minutes to dive as deep as you can into the haunted forest and clear out the nightmares lying in wait. Be wary. The deeper you go, the more difficult your job will become. Honestly, I've been waiting. This is what they should literally have the Infinite Forest be all the
The
time.
time.
Why is it not
Facts.
just part of you? Mercury would not suck nearly as much as its little ring
Hmm.
of idiocy.
Hmm.
Sorry, Bungie, if you're listening to this, because I know you guys still made content. Don't mean to slap it that hard, but the
Hey,
Infinite
gotta
Force is
call it
just
how we
very
gotta call it.
yeah, just it's underutilized. Like it's in a
Absolutely.
couple adventures, it's in the couple strikes, and this is finally a reason to go in there and just run deep in there. Now they say you do not have to have any expansion for this. You'll literally be able to load into the Infinite Forest separately. So you're not
Mm,
going to have Mercury's expansion.
gotcha.
So that's a good thing. And then
Mhm.
the other piece behind it is just the fact that this is how far can you go? This is like how far can you push into a horde mode in 15 minutes?
Yes.
And I
Yes.
love that. Absolutely
Very
love
cool.
that. That's going to be
Very cool.
cool. So I like the
Very
lighting
cool.
effects on it. Kind of has that darker tone.
Hmm.
I wonder if things are going to like creep up next to you and be like, hey, there's a night. Holy crap. Like if
Yeah, I'm
there's going to be
curious
stuff
about
that
the
just
lore
jumps on you.
behind this haunted forest. You know what I mean? Like, I'm very curious, like lore wise, because this is clearly the Infinite Forest. So I want to know if, like, this is me as an Osiris fanboy. Uh, like, will there be any lore mention of why? You know what I'm saying? Like, was because this is technically his realm. This is where Osiris is. Like,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I'm very curious, like lore wise, what they say about that. So yeah, I mean, listen, it's an asset that was underutilized. It was a cool asset in theory. It just wasn't used, I felt, enough, or you know, it could even be enhanced even to be better. And this sounds cool, going deeper, you know, more challenging bosses, more things. This sounds cool. So I'm with it. I'm very curious about it. And like I said, they've never really done anything, like you said, outside of masks for Festival of Lost. So now we have this a little mystery, a couple things going on. It actually sounds pretty cool now, like a worthy event.
Yeah. So I mean, this is probably one of those things like Festival Lost is gonna go away, and everybody's gonna be like, "Hey, you got any more of that haunted forest out there?" Like, see, I'm guessing if it's done well, or if it's just a fun activity to do, that they
Hmm.
actually try and bring this thing back. So that
Hmm.
honestly, that's probably has me the most intrigued. Besides the last week quest, of course, but I think this will be
Yes.
cool to go in with a fire team, push through as much as you can. I don't know if they probably won't slap scoring on this thing, but I'm
Mhm.
sure there's like certain like landmarks and stuff that you're gonna have to get to, and like Esoteric's gonna find the end of the map all on his own,
Mhm.
um, all those things.
Hell no.
So
Quick question for my chat.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uncle, he's shout out to Uncle, he's new. He says, so who is everyone's favorite character? Mine is Shaq. So pretty much, I was gonna ask you this because when we did that segment on our old ILP, like
Yeah.
favorite NPCs and hated. So you already know who my hated. I'm always curious, like give me two of your favorite NPCs and two of your hated NPCs,
Oh,
real quick.
I'm probably not even gonna remember all the right names from D1. Trying
Generalization where they stood at if they don't remember the name.
like one of the
Favorite.
ones I did like, and especially is probably mostly because of the Rise of Iron expansion was Saladin. Actually,
Yeah, sounds cool.
Saladin
Sounds
was
cool.
cool. He was just like, dude, I'm a beast. I got my big old hammer. I swing it. Or his axe or hammer, whatever it was, but I was like, he's just a monster, man. And it was like, and
Yes,
he was
sir.
one of the original as well. Shax has
Hmm.
always been Shax, I feel like I don't know if he's top, because I
Hmm.
mean, for me, Cade was always up there, but obviously
Yeah,
he's stepped down now. Um,
obviously.
Shax in Crucible is sometimes just crazy. Like, this is
I
amazing. Just
love
those
him.
little comments alone, seriously, just like there's
Mhm.
no way you can't enjoy him. Um, Part of me
Absolutely.
has a weird soft spot for Eris just because she is
Ooh.
the oddball out in all this stuff. She's like the oddball.
Yeah.
She's always sitting under the stairs. She's like the Harry Potter like apartment under the stairs type thing. So she didn't ever get a great place to land.
Mhm.
Ones that I hated, me Rahul pissed me off for a long time. So it's kind of because I didn't spend as much time with Ives ticking you guys off. Rahul, oh yeah, somebody said it the other day. It's like screw Rahul. Oh, here's an exotic. No, it's a green. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's the stuff that I remember from him. So yeah, I had little love. And the speaker, yeah, he was just useless. Yeah, I got a sinister
Salute.
right there. Yeah, speaker. Now
Yes.
is like. Granted, he had one of the absolute best lines in the Destiny 1 campaign I've ever seen anybody throw. Whole bunch of
Which one?
shade at Gaul when he's like, why don't you just go die?
Oh
Speaker
yeah.
speaker
Yeah, that
laid
was
it
funny.
down, so I mean I had to
That
give him
was
a little bit
funny.
of props for that one, but I
Yeah,
was
he
like
went
he
out.
was mostly just kind of he had no purpose, so he was just
Mhm.
over there. If you had to go over there, you're like, oh, I gotta go to that far in the tower. um but yeah,
No, no. Yeah, I
so
think
yeah, a little bit either way, but it's like just
I'm
kind of
with you.
depends on what I was working on really half the time. So
Yeah. For me now, I would say, Osiris is always gonna be number one, but that's just facts. They just got to redo his story correctly. But let me see. Surprise! You know who I absolutely like burst into laugh. But Shax is on every
oh,
should be on this. But
Lycan's got
my
one in my
man
chat, but yeah, I got
is
go ahead.
Asher Mir. Asher Mir
Oh,
is funniest, most bitter NPC. I enjoy it. Impossible. Come on
I'm totally
again.
forgetting. Oh no, it's like honestly, like I'm totally blanking on one. I was just thinking more tower.
Yeah.
Failsafe. Dude,
Oh,
failsafe
Felsay's
blew me
awesome.
away. And the
Yeah.
fact that you can actually tweak her into the raid now is like I've got to hear that at some point.
Yeah. Failsafe's awful. Definitely, like I say, gotta shout out. Asher's just hilarious. He hates everything and everyone.
Oh, he's like, do you think Zavala would actually think about this, or would he just go in there and swing his sword and blow up the entire universe? Of course he would. Like he's liking in my chat over here. Asher Mir's a dude.
But he's lovable. He's lovable. Like you have to admit when you do any pyramidion strikes. Oh my God, those are hilarious. I want you to go in there and rip its arm off, and then Yo, I can listen to Ashmere all day. He's just the bitterest NPC in the entire Destiny. So yeah, for me it's him, Shax. Gotta love Shax. Cyrus is a given because I'm an Osiris fanboy. And I've come to I've changed my tune on Executive Hideo. I've changed my
Oh
tune
yeah.
on him. Yeah, because their shaders are so nice, and I
Ah,
like
you're all
I
about
like
those
this.
cosmetics. You're like, I don't care if you have quality gear or morals or anything. Just do you look
Get
pretty?
the
Thanks.
morals. You got the good gear. You got the nice
Yeah.
side of the tower with
Honestly,
the
like
plush.
Lycan's got one that for me, not as much hated, but I gotta shout him out too. For one that I could kind of care less about, Shiro. He was like an
Yeah.
impersonation of Cade. It always rubbed me wrong. I was like, dude, no, like, you don't fit right.
Shout out to Jeff Romacha. He said Cade 6 and FWC. Oh, you like
Lakshmi,
Lakshmi.
Lakshmi, yeah.
Lakshmi. Love her voice actor. Hated Dead Orb. But yeah, I don't like the emo kid. What's his face? From
Yeah, the
Dead Orb.
voice that I know who the actor is for
The actor's
Dead
awesome.
Orbit. Yeah, he's cool. He's always in a lot of like almost Russian villain roles or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's been in a lot of good stuff.
Yep.
So yeah, man, absolutely. He said that anyone get chills when our character spoke for the first time.
Yeah. My
Absolutely.
Guardian, one of the most hated non-speaking people because the ghost is like, and even I look like this is one of those points where Bungie's like, I don't know if they have decided not to. They have a few lines. They have 8 words. They finally got a couple,
Mhm.
but he's just like, oh, still always the silent type or whatever. And I'm just like, come on.
Yes. Come on. Yeah, I know. Listen, it was a monumental step for them to even throw that back in. We'll see how much they advance on our character speaking again. But
Yeah, they
I was
gotta
actually,
keep pushing that forward.
yeah, they gotta push it. I was surprised that they even did it, to be honest. So I'm like, wow, they really are listening because I didn't think they would ever revert back to that. So shout out to them. But yeah, you got some interesting ones. You got some good ones. I
Yeah.
like your choices.
Yeah. So, oh, sorry. Tangent aside, we're back to the Festival of the Lost. But yeah, I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
they've always got some good characters in there. They've had some have had some long history, so it's been kind of cool.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, Infinite Forest into the Haunted Forest, like kind of a horde event, 15-minute run. Probably go back to the tower and do it over and over again. See how you do. I'm hoping it's just going to be a really cool thing. So
Yeah.
crossing my fingers on that one. I mean, this picture right here, just the way the lighting looks on it, you've got this. That night looks to be one of the bigger ones that you don't really want to tick off.
Mhm.
I can't tell if that's a
Yes.
normal night or one of like the big nights that you see in like the Ascendant challenges. We'll just have to see.
Yeah. That
Um,
almost looks escalation protocol level
yeah,
night.
those big boys. Yep, that's the ones
Those
I
look
was
like
thinking of.
that look like a big boy down there. So yeah, it's gonna be. It looks like the challenges are really gonna ramp up the deeper you get, and yeah, I'm excited. A new little mode, a new little activity. I didn't expect any of this for Festival of Lost, to be honest.
So as I said, you can jump in into the dark as a solo player with a pre-made fire team, or through matchmaking to join other guardians in the fight. I like how they give all the options. You can do it
Nice.
with a fire team, solo.
Mm-hmm.
See, this is actually one of those things I'm curious about, and this is one thing they really, really should do.
Go
How
for
are
it.
you going to jump in with matchmaking or solo? How's it going to pick? Because they have never actually had
Hmm.
either matchmaking or solo. Because either you do a nightfall and you have to have people with you, or you do
Yes,
a
that's a good
match-made
point.
activity and you go for it.
That's a good point.
So,
I didn't,
how are
yeah,
you
how they
actually
gonna?
going to be able to pick to run by yourself?
Yes, that's a good point.
Because if
Unless
they have a solo queue for this, give me a solo queue
I,
for
yeah, I was just
Gambit.
about to say. Yep.
Give me a
Give me a solo
solo
queue
queue
for
for
Crucible.
Crucible.
Yes. Iron Banner. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my god, Iron Banner needs it more than Quick Play.
more than Crucible now. Yeah, Iron Banner definitely needs it now. So no, I'm with you, and that's a good catch, E, because that's the first time I've ever seen Destiny advertise an activity and say you have the option to join as a solo player. So wow, interesting.
Yeah, so that was one of those little pieces I noticed. I'm like, I want to know how they do that because if they have the like a switch for just say Infinite Forest or sorry,
Mhm.
Haunted Forest, solo Haunted Forest, I'm gonna be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. All right, let's see
Mhm.
this in a couple other places, and then I'll be a happy man. If you guys
Mhm.
are joining into chat, thank you guys for coming in.
Whatever.
Long point, always,
Wrong point.
never short.
Come on, you get two Destiny fanatics like us together. Things are gonna happen.
So
Conversations
this is
will,
the picture
will
you're
birth.
thinking of right here. This is the one
Mhm.
with Ives. This is the one, and I'm trying to think. And this
Yes.
is the one that looks like it's in
Yes.
front of the tree, so that's why the graphic above seems like an odd picture with
Yes.
hair, because he is straight up
Oh,
bald.
That's the ball guy. That's the guy. That's
Yep,
the
that's
bane of my
Ives. So
existence. Yes, 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 yes. Pay my respects and thank the killer.
I was gonna pay your respects, like, and under your breath, be like, thank you,
Yes, no more
thank you for
shiesty
moving on.
Kryptonks in the
So.
reef.
So most players of Forsaken have already won Justice for Cade 6, but near the conclusion of Festival of the Lost, they'll be called once again to avenge a fallen friend, for some, apparently. Master Ives has been struck down. Maybe someone wanted to settle an old score, maybe it was Cognito who jumped into the servers, or lost their temper when receiving an edge transit. See, this is one of those points, honestly, because I've actually had some comments lately that have been like, so many edge transits, and I'm just like, yeah, because I think in my video, like, I must have opened my inventory and been like, oh, just quickly looking at something. There was like 5 or 6 in my heavy slot.
Mhm.
And somebody's like, what
It's
is up with all those? And
ridiculous.
I'm like, just 2 minutes. I have 30. I just need to pare them down to like get rid of
Wow.
duplicates. So it's been
Wow.
kind
That's
of a
crazy.
joke at this point to be like, how many can I actually accumulate?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Thank God they're supposed to be addressing that with that patch,
Yep,
with the heavies jumping in that slot, the new heavies.
absolutely. Yeah, we need a few more options just in general.
Mhm.
So whatever
Oh, hey,
provoked what?
quick
Go ahead.
sidebar.
Yeah,
The real, even though I'm joking with Master Eves and stuff, the real thing, from what I understand, is that the
Ives.
voice actor that played him, I'm sorry, the voice actor that played him is the voice actor that currently plays Devon Kay.
Right, I have heard that. So
Yeah, so it's literally the same inflection, the same voice. So that's why. So pretty much, Devon is not going anywhere right now. He's pretty much liked. And yeah, I think that's another reason why we're seeing this kind of stuff as well, as far as that character as well.
yeah,
Just want
little
to put that
lore
out
way to kill off a character and preserve a voice actor from doing two things. So that
there.
works.
Exactly. Yep, yep.
So whatever
Continue.
provoked the wrongdoing, justice must be served. The pursuit of Master Ives' killers, by the way, so that's a plural. I actually didn't catch that the first read. Will take
Hmm.
place through a quest line, which adds an additional powerful reward. So another thing to do. The hunt
Hmm.
begins on Tuesday the 30th. Now, Festival of the Lost is going to be 3 weeks long. Starts on the 16th, goes through what is it, November 2nd or no,
Yes.
November 6th.
November 6th.
Yep. So it actually goes for 3 weeks. I actually like that we've got 3 full weeks. So if
Yeah.
you're out of town, you miss something,
Yeah.
you
Correct.
got plenty of time to play this event and get
Hmm.
hopefully most of the stuff you're going for.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't want to hear
Um,
that excuse. Oh, I didn't have time. It was this week. It's 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Yeah.
If you ain't
So
playing
this is
Destiny.
why like Shattered Throne is going to be a priority for me. Then
Hmm.
I don't know. I got to jump in and see what this whole like haunted thing's about because that's something I've
Yeah.
been waiting on for a while.
Yeah. Shattered. I just thought about it though. Shattered Throne might be a thing for me too, because did you see Tess Everett's latest package that she's selling?
With the bow ornament.
Yo, that ornament for Wishender? I was like,
I thought
okay.
that's what the Wish Center looked like already.
That's what I thought. No, it's actually like just plain like white or gray or whatever it is.
Oh.
When I saw that
It was a
queen,
little
that
purple sheen
purple,
or purple fuchsia sheen.
ooh, I was like, okay, I might be incentivized now to get that done. That's nice. That's nice. But anyway, continue.
Nope, you're good. So
Hmm.
Festival Loss, of course, will have its cosmetic rewards as well. It's going to
Hmm.
be a ephemeral engram. So those are going to work alongside with your steadfast engram. So you're going to get double, which is always cool.
Hmm.
Um, and then you may also purchase the engrams in case you want to just blow through some money and get some extra ones.
Yeah.
One thing they did say, and I think I've heard it out there on Twitter, I do believe this is going to work as a checklist. So if you're going through working on anything specific and you play this a decent amount, you will be able to whittle things off of that list so you don't get duplicates. Now, I could be making that up, but I'm pretty sure I saw it on Twitter or somebody out there did finally post that. So I think it is going to be, checklist, knock that stuff off. So you don't, if I get the ship on the left, which looks crazy awesome, by the
Yeah,
way,
that's what I want. Yes.
if I get that one, then I'm not going to get a duplicate of that until I have hopefully everything else. So,
Hmm.
ship on the left and got to get the cat ghost, cat eye.
You with the cat eyes?
I'm not even a cat person. It's just I like how
Mhm.
literally they like taped the ears on there, so it looks like a paper mask. So those are always
Mhm.
cool. Somebody said about this one. I forget who it was on Twitter, and was like, "Am I looking at a Gundam in the middle? What is going on with the big white sparrow that looks kind? I know it's a sparrow,
Yeah, I was
but
like,
at its
what is
angle, it
that?
looks like almost like a Gundam like being raised up, like about to be like
Hmm.
stepping out on the world." So yeah, they definitely put some nice art into these. I like this. See, like this one over here. I don't know why. For me, like somebody's like, please let that be Siva and not just veins. Please let that be Siva and not just veins.
That's a good point. I didn't think about even Siva.
Yeah,
That's a
I was like,
good
it doesn't
point.
quite look Siva like though. It does actually look
Yeah.
veiny and not quite
Hmm.
technological. So, but for me, this one looks 10 times cooler than this one. This one has
Hmm.
like purple stuff on it, and this one, I
Hmm.
don't know why, it just looks cooler. And maybe it's just because I like the shape of the ship more. Because this
Hmm.
looks like the fighter jet, and this just looks like a flying box. But
It's like a
maybe that's
fly.
just me.
Yo, you went in on that.
Some
Fly
ships look cooler
box.
than others. I just got the this week actually. In my weekly reset, I had three of the
What you got?
what are they? The prismatic facets, and
Yes.
I go to open the prismatic matrix, and there's four things I don't have:
Hmm.
the exotic catch ship, the
Hmm.
chaperone ornament, and two other pieces. So I was like, all right, well, I'll spin two of them in here and see what I get. Exotic. I'm like, all right, well, I guess I'm done. So I checked
That's
my
it for
two
this
boxes
week.
off. So yeah, I was like 2 for 2. I was like, I'm out.
Nice.
So the
Nice.
catch is cool. It definitely looks funny. But these are some of the ones just because they stand out the most are some of the
Yeah.
ones I want. And this is
Absolutely.
also the point where I wish you could re-roll ghosts as well. Because like
Yeah.
I might get one of these, but I will never use it if its rolls suck.
Hmm.
So we'll see how it goes. But you'll be able to earn double engrams, which is cool. You'll be able to buy some if you really just don't have that much time to play. Um,
Hmm.
and we also have some emotes. So
Yes.
somebody on a guitar solo just absolutely killing it. Then over here, just crazy dance man, just absolute. I
Oh,
love
you're
some of
getting
these
it in.
dances because they get into it so much
Yeah, they go
longer.
so hard.
Yeah, it was like the Michael
So
Jackson
long.
dance like 2 years ago. They're like the longest emotes ever, and I love it.
I love it. And they on
Have you?
repeat, so you can leave the character,
Yep,
leave the
just go
guardian there.
forever, just dancing like crazy.
Hmm.
Yeah, I want to be there when they motion cap one of these things. Really want to
But
just watch some of that stuff.
a lot of it, which I found out on on a podcast with we had a shout out to Rick Hogue from Hogue Law. A lot of these things, man, are just copied animation wise. You know what I'm saying? Like, from certain artists and stuff like that, from pop culture and stuff like that. But it's funny. It's funny. I think it's interesting how they're able to get away with it. We discussed that, and it's definitely that's something that's growing because there's a market. We all buy this stuff. Every time I go to the tower, there's people doing these dances with their guardians.
Oh well, have you been out in the world and see people doing the floss from Fortnite, which is just oh my god.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So
Hmm.
that's most of what we have for festival. I think that pretty well covers it. So
Hmm.
let's jump over to the TWAB, which starts with that.
Hmm.
So this week at Bungie, right here, Festival Lost, October 16th to November 6th. You got masks. So of course Aldrin's gonna be in there. I love how they
Yeah,
have a chicken mask. The Colonel.
the
The Colonel is
colonel,
in the house.
the colonel.
What is the middle one, by the way? Who is this like steampunky dude?
Yeah, I don't. It looks just like I'm trying to figure that out. That's a good question. Like, hmm,
I don't know if it's
what?
anyone or if it's just kind of a steampunk look, but it's a weird one.
Yeah,
So
it's a weird one. I don't
I
know
also
what that
wonder
is.
if like the mask may be one thing, which may be like
Mm,
kind of robotic, but I
yeah,
think this is actually probably the hunter cape because
yeah,
that
yeah. It's a hunter cape.
yeah, it's a hunter cape, but I didn't even notice that at first, but it actually has a
And let's
very
so.
cool like old school witch wizard look
You know
to
what
it.
I'm thinking? What about that whole quest with the whole thing with Drifter and Shad? What is it? Shin Malfer and all these guys. Was it the one? Was the one that got killed? I'm not. My lore is off right now, so I'm asking like that whole story between the last word and the thorn, right? And the guy that killed the thorn guy, which was in that because they have a whole thing on this in the lore. And if you go into the ascendant plane, you'll see his outline of his body. I just want to confirm, and maybe in your chat might know if that guy that got killed was he a hunter, and maybe because remember this is honoring dead guardians. We
Yeah.
know Aldrin bit the bucket. Said I don't know why the colonel was up there, but whatever. Thought the colonel was still in the tower, but whatever. Um,
Holding down the
yeah, I'm curious about
dredging
because they
door.
got this character in the forefront, and it looks like an older character, right? It looks based on what we see on this picture, in this image.
Yeah, somebody in my chat was saying it might just be the hunter armor, like literally the mask.
Okay, but
So it
yeah.
might just be the helm for the gear you might be able to get from this event, which definitely
Mhm.
has kind of a unique look, like steampunk Halloween going crazy.
Yeah.
The cloak obviously is, but it may just be literally the helm for that character, and it just fits in, kind of being creepy. But
Mhm.
actually, one of the things I was wondering about on this as well, because power level being a thing that matters for sure.
Mhm.
There's no way the haunted for. I kind of wonder what. Okay, now I have multiple questions. I added some onto myself.
Let's go.
Okay, first,
Mhm.
are you gonna have to put the mask and replace your helm and
Yeah,
lose
because that
your
was a problem
slot?
always with Festival of Lost. You would lose your light
Yeah, lose your.
running around with these masks.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I'm 380. No, I'm like 280.
Yep. Yep. That's a good point. Or will it act as an ornament?
See, that'd be nice. But
Yeah.
then you have to basically open up ornaments for every single piece of legendary gear, and not all
Yeah.
of them have it.
That's a good point. That's a good point. It's going to be an interesting handle to see how they implement it because in the past, it's always been you'd have to take off strong gear and then put on this mask that would drop you down to next to nothing because the light level on these things would be non existent.
You know, John had one. It might be a consumable thing that lasts for like 24 hours or a week or something like that. Could be
Hmm.
one of those if you actually just put it on over. Because I saw the one
Hmm.
that was like, I feel like a picture somewhere where it's like you have the traveler head. And I
Hmm.
feel like some of those before were, it was if you had the engram head. But some of those were true masks, though. I'm trying to remember. But my
Hmm.
other question is, as the haunted forest is for everyone, what level do you think that's going to be?
Hmm. I don't know. That's a hard one.
I
What
mean, is it going to
level?
scale? Is it going to.
It well, we know the activity gets harder the deeper you go in
Right.
it. Um, and the vibe I'm getting from them is that they're trying to make it very inclusive at first because
Yeah.
of the announcement. We're gonna get into that announcement,
Yep.
but I don't think it'll be that hard though. I would say,
I mean, there has to be a point if you run in solo that it's actually a challenge. Otherwise, everybody can do it if they're 500 or above. Because if somebody's on D2 vanilla only and they're capped at, I don't even remember the cap, 300,
mm-hmm.
320, I don't remember.
Generally
Um,
festival. Yeah, continue.
no, I was just like, if that's as high as they go, but they can step into the same activity, either
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to scale to what you are,
Mm-hmm.
or I don't know. Just have to. I have no
I'm
clue
going.
on that.
I'm going with in your chat. I'm going with 500, like Oscar in your chat, because the point of entry has to be low so that anybody can jump in. But then as you progress, obviously going to be rewards and bounties and things tied to certain things. I think that's probably how they handle it. Because I've if I remember past festival laws, I never thought about them as like super difficult activities. I remember as you went along certain quests, towards the end of it, the things that they asked you to do may have increased difficulty. So I'm gonna actually say it's gonna have a low barrier for entry. It's gonna probably be like 500 just to start whatever you need to start, but progressively, go up in difficulty.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool if you get to little checkpoints or you open one of those little doors and it's like level 550, level 560,
Hmm.
like you keep pushing through a little bit. So I don't know. We'll see.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was like, just kind of got some questions answered. It's like they still haven't done transmog. Everybody's dying for that at some point, which is hopefully something maybe they'll do in D2 or D3,
Hmm.
but who knows.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm kind of wondering how the masks work because if you do truly drop like when you have 5 pieces of gear, if you're 600 and you put one on, you drop to 480. That's a hit and a
It's a
half. You
huge.
can't go do
Yeah.
anything. Like you're gonna go get your butt whooped in the Dreaming City.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
just have to see. I don't know because
No, good
that's
point.
the why. I mean, because that was the whole thing before about the mask was acquiring them, so you could take it on, put it off, take it on, put it off. If it's just a
Mhm.
consumable, then like okay, some of those activities wanted you to do whatever wearing a specific mask, and
Right.
if they want you to go do a nightfall wearing Zavala's mask, I'm gonna get killed trying to do a nightfall. So
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting.
uh,
It's very, very. I mean, you think maybe they handle it kind of like what's this last one? The solstice.
yeah, or it's
Remember
a
they
set
had
of
the.
armor or something like that with ornaments.
Yeah, maybe it's some. I don't know. I don't know, man. It's very, very interesting because I mean, not in the sense that it's a sense of armor, but maybe from the sense of, you started off really low.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know. This is a very interesting thing. They're talking about this. They're talking about solo matchmaking. They're definitely making it an event. This is not something that's just going to be just put on a mask and run around and that's it. So
Yep.
Very curious to see how this is handled.
Yeah, so crossing fingers, they also we get them. Will they be possible from a collection, cute lad?
Mhm,
So
mhm.
maybe I don't know. I'm hoping we get something that surprises us. Nice little step in the direction for the game. Have to see. Question. If
Yes.
we actually get the right answer for Bungie, but
Mhm.
um, I don't know if Steve and Scott are still at the helm of this, or even at least making sure it's pushed in the right direction. I so far mostly have faith outside of a few
Yeah,
cancels.
absolutely, absolutely. This is Forsaken has been a home run through and through. Definitely have faith.
Yep. So second wave. So this is one a lot of us talked about, wondered what was going on, why. Now there's two different schools of thought on this one. I have a feeling.
Hmm.
So when they launched Forsaken, to play Forsaken, you had to own all of Destiny 2 Year One, including the two expansions. That's about to change.
Yes, huge,
So,
huge deal.
effective October 16th, the purchase of Destiny 2 Forsaken will include the, the two expansions included in the Destiny 2 expansion pass. Every
Hmm.
player of Destiny 2 who is yet to touch down on the Tangled Shore will only need the Forsaken upgrade. So, our hope is that this will eliminate some of the questions that confront a player as they try to join the party. So, what do you think?
Mm.
I want to know your straight up opinion.
Um, I think it's good. I think it's. I mean, it's something that probably this is them breaking. This is how I look at it. I think this is them breaking protocol. They've always been Bungie's history or Activision's history has always been when the major content drop, like a Taken King comes out, that major style expansion comes out, that they're like, hey, you can't play it, unless you've had the previous DLC before and the new one. They've kind of been hard and fast, and they've been getting away with it, and we've been buying it. But it does in Forsaken's case. I did empathize with the guy who had D2, got disenchanted with it or whatever. Just said I'm done.
Yep.
Didn't pick up Curse after bad reviews, and rightfully so. Could we get mad at that guy
Oh, yeah.
who didn't pick up Curse of Osiris? Warmind comes out, got average, mid to average reviews. I can't get mad if a person says, "Hey, I'm still not ready to come back to Destiny." Then the Forsaken comes out, it gets rave reviews. He's like, you know what? I'm ready to come back to Destiny. And now you go, boom! You've got to have Curse of Osiris and Warmind to even play Forsaken.
See,
You know,
that's like that's one of those decisions that I feel like was not entirely theirs.
Yeah, that's Activision. This is an Activision. There's no doubt in my mind. And again, please, if you haven't watched, I pressed Lord Rick Hogue from Hogue Law. He's a gaming lawyer. He deals a lot with these corporations. We talked about Destiny exclusives. I asked him a lot of Destiny questions. So these are the kind of things that get worked out behind the scenes. And as far as this price structure and things of that nature. And I think this is also finally some goodwill on their end because let's be honest, D2's launch, as well as it did financially, as hard as it tapered off sales wise, there was a humbling thing for them. That if
Yeah.
you probably if they had their stat guys in the book, on deck, and they're doing their forecasts about how they think Destiny 2 as a franchise is going to do, right? When it dropped out the gate and we were all in our honeymoon phase, that was what they expected to continue throughout the expansion,
Yeah.
from D2 all the way to Warmind. It dropped off dramatically. The game was a joke. Everyone, ran for the hills. Destiny's dead. Destiny's dead. People were screaming from the hills. So now that you're finally getting some goodwill back, Forsaken is this amazing content, you know, why not? Why not do some goodwill and keep, because one thing we do know, and this is my last point. One thing we do know, when you do things like that, where you're forcing people to buy all this additional content, now you're separating the base, right? It's like the equivalent of a Call of Duty with map packs. Oh, you can't play the new one until you have all these, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Expand
Yeah.
you're segmenting it. You've lost your base. Let's get them back. I know people in this exact situation.
Mm-hmm.
There's a shout out to my boy Bloody Knuckles. He is Destiny hardcore, right? Felt betrayed by Destiny 2, right? Each subsequent thing, I said, nope. Is he come to me like, Cognito, I know you're gonna give me a real talk. I know you in Flashpoint. When he bothers you guys talk Destiny, like, is it safe? And I couldn't tell him it was safe with Osiris to come back. I couldn't tell him it was safe with Woman. I'll be honest with him. I'm saying, look, They did some hard things for the hardcore War Mine. I don't know if everything is all the way you want it. Then when Forsaken came out, I'm like, dude, it's ready to go. This is it's back. You know what I'm saying? All the way. Weapon rolls, good story, good lore, great raid. You know what I'm saying? Just boom. And he's like, all right. And then they look and say, wait, I gotta buy Osiris and War Mine just to do it. It's tough sell, man. It's tough sell. So kudos to them on this one. That's what I felt. No ramble, but just wanted to give some different aspects on it. But what do you feel? E? Like, what do you feel? Were you shocked by this? Were you when you read this? This whole Forsaken includes Osiris and Warmind for free.
So part of this is one of those where they may have been allowed to finally be like, hey, we got to open the gates. We want to get more people. Let us have some freedom here. But on
Mm-hmm.
the other side, it's like they got their initial push.
Mm-hmm.
They got the Forsaken. They got the people who bought the bundles, who bought the collections. So, I mean, this basically shoots the collection. Or basically
Yeah.
it drops the price on it because I saw the price dropped on the... That actually makes more sense. Saw an IGN
Mm-hmm.
deals thing come through and the collection dropped down to $40
Mm-hmm.
because that basically is the price of Forsaken. So
Yep.
it basically drops the price on everything, which is probably not a bad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Some people who may feel like they got shafted because they feel like oh, I had to buy this whole thing just to get Forsaken, which really was just like $20 on top of Forsaken. So
Right.
depending on what you had paid for or not, it was probably the value of one of those expansions anyway. So I mean, it wasn't the end of the world, but people who were like, "Oh, if I just would have waited, if you just would have
Mm-hmm.
waited, you would have missed out on all this already." And there's always a price for being an early adopter, no matter what you're
Mm-hmm.
doing. So the nice thing about this is they didn't forget the early adopters.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the piece that I want to shout out. So you
Yes.
could see both sides of the coin. You could be like, oh, now they're going to let you in after they got all the initial push and the money from launch and all that stuff. But on the other side, they could have just been like, well, okay, finally we're going to lower the curtain and let more people in, and that's it. They could have just said, hey, Forsaken's all you need now, and not had any more on this paragraph. They could have stopped right here on this line and had no
Yes.
more, but they typed some more.
Mm-hmm.
What about us? Is what everyone who already purchased Forsaken
Mm-hmm.
is asking. You are a vanguard. We appreciate you for beginning the hunt on day one. You were there when the first raid finished Change the Dreaming City. You've been part of the conversation that has breathed enthusiasm back in the tower. For you and only the players like you, we have a collection of veterans rewards as an expression of our appreciation for being on the front lines. Every Guardian who played Forsaken prior to October 16th will receive the following bundle. A
Mm-hmm.
unique emblem, which, by the way, is pretty cool.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and zoom this guy in here. Let's see how big
Oh
I
yeah.
can get it. All right.
Fine.
So you got like a tiger stripe emblem
Mm-hmm.
with what looks to be kind of a badass looking little black tiger. You've got a shader that you will only
Mm-hmm.
have if you got this. You got 2 exotic emotes. Now, what do exotic emotes cost sometimes? We know the Iron Banner one occasionally costs like $10.
$10.
So that alone might even cover your difference depending. But you got a coin flip emote, you got the
Mhm.
knife trick emote, and you've got a consumable bundle. Now, if it's just like one of each of these, somebody, forget who did it. I think it was Tass. He was like, I'm going to need about 300 of those finest matter weaves to make my early adoption worthwhile, which cracked me up, by the way, because we all need masterwork cores. Like, it's something going crazy.
Yeah, they need a masterwork core bundle. That
Masterwork, yeah, give me just masterwork cores. Just, yeah. By the way, here's 50 masterwork cores for being
there
part
you
of it.
go.
So,
Yeah.
um, but they did not have to do this. And it
Facts.
may, and most of you guys may be like, hey, it's cosmetics, it's boons, it's not
Mhm.
that great. It is something, though.
Yes.
So, not to be a Bungie shill or apologist or whatever you want to call. I can
Mhm.
completely understand because there's some people, and one of my friends was the one who did not get Warmind. He ended up buying them because they were on sale. They were down to like $10. They were pretty cheap. So, if you wanted to jump in, um, then you got the opportunity to. But if you were just like, hey, I want to wait, and now you want to do it, you're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't think this is a bad thing just because it brings more people back into the game, which is pretty much all we're asking for. The more players, the better. The more newbies that can run around in Crucible that I can shoot and have a chance to kill, they're better.
Mhm.
Um,
Listen.
but don't misunderstand me saying I think this is a good thing. But I mean,
Yeah.
not understanding that some people may truly feel shafted because they're like,
Yeah.
if I would have just waited a little bit, what's the deal? So
Completely understand that. I will say that again. Let me put because we're gonna say we're chilling for Bungie, but at the end of the day, it's like the option is do nothing, right? Which is you just drop the price. You don't do anything for that community who actually was there day one, and you piss people off. So at least I don't feel they're tone deaf anymore. Where it's like before they would just do something like that, and it's like, wow, what about the guys that were there day one? That kind of. I've seen other companies do stuff like that. So I like that. And actually this set, if I recall, they've actually used this tiger stripe thing before in a similar fashion. I believe during the Taken King era, because I remember seeing a sparrow or this design, this veteran kind of design that you've been in before kind of deal. So this is something that they have done in the past before. I can't get my timeline correct if it was Taken King or if it was right before Age of Triumph. There was some cool thing like this that they did for the vets. And listen, I like it. You know, hey, we could always ask for more. Of course. I'm not saying, hey, I'm completely satisfied with this. Yeah, of course I can be greedy and ask for more, but it's just some type of acknowledgement to that base. So I'm good with it, man. Ultimately, the gamers went out. Gamers went out. For people who have been on the fence, at least they can jump in. You know what I mean? You want more community. You want more people playing Destiny. That's ultimately what this is about.
Yeah. So I mean, it could be more, it could be less. Somebody in
Hmm.
chat saying, "Hey, it could be ship or a spare or something like that," which would be cool too. Again, still
Yeah.
just a cosmetic piece.
Hmm.
He's like, "I'm not that greedy." He's like, "I want all the things. Can I have a full armor set too?" But
Hmm.
overall, it's one of those pieces where they are trying to acknowledge the base. They are trying to get more people in. They got the approval to basically open the gates a little more, and they're just doing what they can for those who they know feel like they may be like, "Hey, hey, hey," and they're like, "Here's a
Hmm.
token of our appreciation. Thank you for boosting this game to what it has been." That's all they
Absolutely.
can do. So the
Hmm.
tiger stripe, black shader, and veterans nameplate emblems are exclusive to players who earn this bundle by playing Forsaken prior to October 16th. You have till Monday. Get on it.
Get on it. You've
The
been
two exotic
warned.
emotes will be made available on Eververse sometime in the future. All names are subject to change.
Hmm.
So, yep. And they're just going to be, I think, in Eververse as either just something to come through for Bright Dust or maybe just a engram or anything like that. So I don't know if you're
Yeah.
going to pop in your engram or how that's going to go. I think other people may be able to get them too, it looks like. But I
Hmm.
think we're just going to get them straight up.
Straight
So at
up.
least my understanding. So pretty cool stuff. And again, it's just a tip of the hat to those who started it out, and they're just saying thanks, which is nothing
Yeah.
wrong with that.
Nothing
Right
wrong
there.
with that.
Thank you for playing, and thank you for being the first to experience what we've created. It's exactly what they're
Yeah.
doing. Just thank you.
Exactly.
So,
And thank you for not leaving people who are on the fence about Destiny for sake, because this is great content. We want people to play it. We want, you want the online population to be grown. So this kind of thing, to be honest with you, E, I hope I'm curious to see moving forward if they will adopt this from now on. Maybe when it releases, the first early adopters go in, we get our Forsaken, we had most of us already had that content, previous expansion content anyway. So it really didn't affect the hardcore, right? So maybe this is a new thing now, and with especially, let's be honest, especially in this rise of pushback towards microtransactions. EA's been getting hit. Take Two's been getting hit with 2K.
yep.
That's people. Legislation is coming. I mean, whether we agree or disagree, that's another entirely podcast for that.
Yeah.
But the point of the matter is that a lot of these big name publishers are going to have to adopt different strategies now. And the only thing that I can say, which was negative in the Destiny community, as far as we will both agree Destiny doesn't nickel and dime you with microtransactions. I never felt that way. I never felt
No.
Cosmetics and all that give you
I mean,
some advantage.
cosmetics are exactly that. They're an optional
Yeah,
thing to the game, like
exactly.
anything else. So,
Destiny's never been that game. But the only thing you could accuse Destiny of is, oh well, they always nickel and diamond with the expansions, and they're making you get this and that. And if they do this, where it's like early adopters, boom, first month, okay, cool, and then you wait. What is it now? We're because we're about like a full month now from Forsaken's launch, right?
yeah, it'll be about 6 weeks
Yeah,
altogether.
exactly. So now you go, okay, 6 weeks, boom. You know what? For those guys on the fence now, boom, it's free. I wouldn't mind if they adopt this. I wouldn't mind. I think it's a nice gesture, honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of thing. You think like something that Overwatch, there's no characters, there's no
Hmm.
progression, there's no weapons. Like, that is the only thing. But that stuff is still cosmetic, too.
Right.
Just some of those roles are absolute trash, which hopefully get a little bit better. I mean, I played that a little bit, and it was like every time all I would get is like, A little bit of gold, which takes 1,000 to do anything, or a duplicate of something, and yeah, I just never got the stuff I wanted. But
Gotcha.
on here, yeah, it's just a tip of the hat and a thank you, and generally just positive stuff.
Mhm.
Personally, as a big fan of this, it's like me. I've been playing. I don't know how many hours I've already got out of this game anyway, so I got plenty of time out of it. And if it just opens up the universe for more, it gives people an option. And I mean, they're about to go up against Call of Duty like today, which is available. Shout out to Blackout. That'll be interesting.
Mhm.
You've got
Mhm.
Red Dead coming in like 2 weeks, and a
Yep.
lot of stuff coming. So for them to try and keep people around or say, hey, do you want to check this out as well? Or a Christmas gift or something, they're opening that, door that was blocking to be like, hey, you had to buy it all before. Nope, not anymore.
Mhm.
So overall, I'm all right with it.
Yep. What else we got?
Sorry, guys. Taking care of my nose.
Take care of the nose, baby. Take care of the nose.
Out of the iron and into the fire. This is why I said there's too much crap to do. Iron Banner's next week as well.
Woo!
I
Let's
don't
go.
have enough time.
Yes. Overload.
Don't have enough time. So Iron Banner comes back along with Festival of the Lost, along with, by the way, heads up, week 3 in the Dreaming City. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you
something and
don't
do
have
it.
your third subclass and you missed that, you got to jump in for that. If you didn't make it through the Shattered Throne or get your Wish Under, you've got to grind that one out. This is why I'm glad Festival of the Lost is 3 weeks. I don't know what to do first. But Iron Banner is changing with 2.0.4. The bounties have been altered, so they're not quite as lengthy, and everything drops powerful gear. Remember that. Every single bounty now offers powerful gear as a reward, so even if you do some of the quicker ones, you'll get some powerful gear. If you make the longer grinds, you've got, 6 options? I mean, 6 pieces of powerful gear is no joke. Now, they may not be the big boosts if you're at 580, but 6 pieces altogether, that's solid. My advice on these is you're going through, like if you're leveling up throughout the week, if you knock one out early, maybe don't pop that one until you're like, hey, I've got a couple things that are lower, a couple things that are higher. Try and get those points where it's going to start really balancing you out. Yeah. Use those as those little fillers, because I don't imagine these are going to be Queen's bounties type, like Dreaming City level light bumps like the other stuff will be.
Right.
But every bounty has been reduced in time to grind. So Lightbearer super kills down 5 from 25 to 20. Match completions. This is probably the biggest. 30 matches is a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, if you live in Crucible and you park your little tent in the corner next to Shaq's, and then you're just like, all right, cue me in for the next game, coach, I'm good. Like, you'll probably hit 30 on your first day. Most of us want to do some other stuff, but Crucible man over here, Cognito's like, 30? I need 300. What are you talking about?
No, listen, I agree with you. I played when I completed all those bounties. And I'm like, man, that took a while. It really was a time investment. It's just because I love Crucible. But if I put myself in everyone else's shoes, it was like an average to, mid-level average interest in Crucible, that's a slog. That's a slog. I have to give it, because for me, even when I was like, man, I still got all these type of kills to get. I got to get these. I got to get super kill or whatever, and heavy kills. It's a lot, man. So listen, these are cool adjustments, and the main thing is that every single one now offers powerful gear, you know. And yeah, shout out to Raquel in the chat. Yeah, Iron Band's going to be a good source now. Iron Band is going to be a good source for powerful gear, and I like that. And the thing I like most about it, it reminds me of D1, because for guys like me who like to play a lot more Crucible than the average PvE guy, like that means I can live in the Crucible and still benefit. I can still benefit while you guys are out doing, the haunted forest, and you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
If
yeah.
I just want to just play Crucible all day, I can still stay on the track. And I think that's what D1 always did better than D2, which was depending on the style of player you was. If you just wanted to play Crucible, you had that. You had what you call it, and you had the True Meaning of War bounty, and you had Trials of Osiris.
Yeah.
You could literally max light by doing just those activities.
Yeah. So this balanced that out a little more. I mean, even listen to Datto at one point. He was just like, guys, it's the first Iron Banner. You know it's going to change. They're just not trying to throw it all to you at once. What do you know? Like 2.5, 3 weeks later, bam, here we are. So, yeah, powerful gear coming from those. Shout out to, I don't even know how to say your name, man. Type it in chat, but it's QDLat86. I'm going to say like QDLat, but I don't know. Um, he was just saying also he's like there's too many powerful engrams in the game in his opinion. I'm casual, picked up the game a few
Mm.
months ago, and now I'm 581.
Hmm.
So
Interesting.
yeah. By
I
the way,
got thoughts.
Lat. Oh, he's also asking about the prime buff. He's like it might be broken. He got 3 prime engrams. It kind of depends on how frequently and how often you've been playing. I was literally
Yeah.
going through my Tuesday grind with both my characters. I got one between both. So
Hmm.
maybe it's like one a day. Maybe it's supposed to be like how much you've played. Um, Lat. Okay, cool. I said it right. But I know we talked about it before. But yeah, basically, I was just saying it's like there are a lot of ways to get to max level, and now
Hmm.
there's even more. So
Right.
that the casual picking up the game can get up to that max level. I still wish there was some type of either caveat or asterisk or 610 from doing the raid, something, but we've covered that before. But yeah, just throwing that out there.
Hmm.
It's like I feel you, believe me, because you can do you can do a lot of things in this game, not touch end game, and still be max level, which for me is still a little bit of an issue for those who want to actually get that final accomplishment. So
Hmm.
I don't know.
Hmm. No, I mean, you know, I don't disagree with you. I don't. I always feel like the hardest activity should get you to the max light and stuff like that. And I always encourage that kind of play because ultimately you want people to play this. This is great content. This is great content. So why avoid it all the time by not engaging in it? So I'm with it. As far as QLA's point in reference to powerful, I kind of like the way it is now because it incentivizes me every day to log in every day because when you see like a daily powerful gear, you're like, man, I got let me do this. I have to set plans now. I'm like, okay, what's the most efficient thing I can do today if I have limited time? I can do okay, 3 gambit matches. Get this. I can live in strikes for a minute, or what I'm saying. I can do crucible for do the 5 matches, stuff like that. And then when you do the weeklies out the way, each day something new will pop on. Come reset. So for me, it just makes the world a little bit more living. I don't know if you understand where I'm coming from, E.
Yeah,
Like I just like that every day I can do something. There's something new to do that's going to grant me that source. If and let's be honest too. The other thing is, even though you get a powerful grip, it doesn't guarantee you to boost light. Let's be honest, because there've been many times I've gotten kinetic weapons in the same slot that don't give. You know what I mean? Or you get a piece of, you don't get the piece of armor or piece of weapon slot that actually will affect your light going up. There's still RNG with that as well. So I'm cool with it, man. I actually like how it is. I mean, can't get off Destiny, so that tells
no,
you something for
I
me.
play way too much.
Way too much. Hmm.
Yep. So yeah, that's just kind of one of those things it's hard to balance, and they're trying to go between not going too casual, which is where we got to where we were in the world of Destiny 2 year one.
Hmm.
They threw everything at you, everything was too easy. And then they kind of flipped it all the way to the other side on Forsaken. They're kind of letting some people ease in. But that
Hmm.
first month grind has been one hell of a grind. It's been legit. So, I mean, opening the doors more. I mean, I will say some of these are like, I mean, match completions, 15 match completions. If you spend 15 Crucible matches in there, you can do one and get your daily done sometimes. So I mean, spending
Right.
15 in Iron Banner, there's still some time in these. You can't just like
Yeah.
fall. You can't just like trip over powerful engrams. So
Hmm. Hmm.
shout out to the art design as well, because once again, somehow making the Iron Banner gear
Oh,
look different. I
yeah.
mean, these two
Facts.
weapons are, by the way, pretty good ones from what I've hear. So it's
What are
the
these? Break them down.
yep. So it's the Fox, and let me zoom in on this one. Here we go. So we got what is it? I don't even have both of these. I think I got one.
Hmm.
I'm trying to remember what the hell they're called, because they say the Wolves and the Fox. So it's the Sniper and the Pulse, which are both
Yeah.
good. I think.
Yeah. The
Um,
pulse. The pulse is really good. Claws or something, I think.
Yeah, Claws of the Wolf. Is that Claw of the Wolf? Claws of the
Yeah,
Wolf?
something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
claws of the wolf.
That one I
Hmm.
know is solid from what I've heard.
Yeah, that one's good. That one's really good.
And then I think the sniper rifle, I've seen people use it. I don't think I've got it, but it
Hmm.
always like just it has its own look. It's cool.
Yeah. I need a rocket, man. I was hoping for a rocket launcher. I need a rocket launcher so
I need
bad.
that bad omens tracking and
Oh,
cluster bombs. Like that's the only
rage.
rocket launcher that anyone wants, because every other one
Yes.
does not. See, that's kind of an annoying thing to me. I mean, I guess
Hmm.
there's a point of some rockets having some perks and not, but like, I mean, if it's a rocket launcher, like Sleepless, I'm pretty sure that one cannot have tracking, and it can have cluster because I've got one with it, but it doesn't seem to want to roll with tracking, and I don't know if it can. And that's kind of annoying that the other rocket launcher can't do it. It's the
I
only the one from
know.
Gambit, which is even more annoying because that's
Yep.
harder to get packages from him. So
Yep. That's a preach.
yeah, so but some
Hmm.
cool gear. Um, so yeah, foxes and wolves will be out in battle. And remember, every time you do one of those bounties, you're gonna get powerful gear anyway from doing the bounty. And then with your tokens, you're gonna be able to unlock a piece of armor or two of these weapons from them. So
Hmm.
should have plenty to do, without a
Yes, you
question.
do.
Um, Also, can't scroll past this. Double Valor and Triple Valor this weekend. So for
I'm
those
living in the
Crucible
Crucible.
lovers out there, Double Valor may not incentivize you. Maybe do your, your Dreaming City, maybe do your
Hmm.
Haunted Forest, jump into the Shattered Throne. But over the weekend, if you want some Valor, from
Oh
Monday through
yeah.
reset, or what would that be? Friday through reset. Basically, when Zur
Hmm.
is in town, it's going to be Triple Valor over the weekend.
Woo.
So jump into Crucible, jump into Iron Banner. That's your time to grind out. So maybe you split your week. Maybe you
Hmm.
do some Haunted Forest. Maybe you do
Mm.
some Shattered Throne, and then come Friday, then you jump back on your Crucible wagon, and you're good to go.
Yeah, you got options, man. You
Yep.
got options for Crucible. This is Crucible Dream, man. I'm on my Regix grind. Oh, it's beautiful. It's
Yeah, I need
beautiful.
to put
Perfect
some of that
time.
grind in this weekend. So see if I
Hmm.
got some. Not well. It's next weekend, which is good because I have family in town this weekend. Not gonna get as much time to play this weekend. Sad face.
Life getting in the way.
I know. Just got up to 583, and I'm like, I gotta get me some of that. So,
No doubt.
but yeah, so definitely spend some time. We got the Valor coming up. Apparently, if you're reading these words in English, they're going to work on other
Mhm.
localized versions of the blog, which is impressive. So I guess they're going to work on some translations. That's one thing to remember, guys. If they put anything in the game, they have like 12 languages to cover. Nothing is going to be fast when you do that.
Mhm.
Because if you've ever seen something of a localization that goes poorly, not a good thing. So yeah, they got to make sure and get that stuff right.
Yes.
And in case you really wanted some, you can make your paper masks. These are back.
This is
Honestly, the
hilarious.
picture, if you saw on Twitter, Cosmo was wearing this mask sitting in front of his computer working on the TWAB. This thing is apparently bigger than I thought it was. So
Yeah, clearly.
it's not small. And
Mhm.
yeah, if it fits Cosmo's head, it's good to go. So got a couple options. You can get the free Papercraft Chicken template, courtesy of the Bungie
Jesus.
store. You've also got Scorn, Shax, and Uldren Sov, so you got your masks to put on. I mean,
Mhm.
these are just like they take time to build like paper crafts, so you can literally print them out. Yeah, if you guys don't see that, go look up Cosmo's Twitter. He's got a funny one out there.
Hilarious.
And if you get any of these things that you want, mask wise, you can actually get this emblem. So I know they're gonna get some quick stuff that way, which is always nice. See, these are ones that like, hey, if somebody spends like $1 on a mask and gets an emblem, cool. Half of the Bungie, I don't know how much of Bungie stores like proceeds go to St. Jude's anyway, if not most all of them. So I mean, it's always
Yeah.
to a good cause. So it's like, hey, if I'm like,
Mhm.
hey, is there a T-shirt I want? They're always a good fabric.
Mhm.
They're soft. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
probably gonna
yeah.
buy one. I finally got my Solstice of Heroes shirt. That took a while. I ordered it like before, I think before the event ended, but it took way too long. But I did finally get it. Excuse me, guys. I'm like all over the place with my voice this morning.
All good, bro. As long as you're okay. That's the main thing.
But for the schedule, so 2.0.4, we got a patch coming up. That's just going to be normal downtime. Just going to go down earlier on Tuesday morning. Doesn't matter because I'm never at my house. But it looks like it should be back up normal time. So going down earlier than usual for like a reset or just a tick over. So it'll be down for about 3 hours. Nothing major, nothing crazy.
Mhm.
They'll get the patch up, and then Festival of Lost will be launching. You just make sure you have to actually have the patch for Festival of Lost. If you don't, reboot, reload, re-download, whatever you got to do, and jump back
Mhm.
in there. There are a couple known issues. If you guys know about them, look at them. There's an Ascendant Challenge emblem that's out there that's not updating correctly. PC still having some FPS issues. Occasionally, that's an issue.
Mhm.
There is also an issue with Petra's Run. Um,
Yes.
so there's an issue with people getting kicked back to orbit or being disconnected, like killing a run like Petra's Run. So if you're gonna go on Petra's Run, you're gonna try and flawless the raid. You better have a rock solid connection. Go call your cable company and be like, hey, You drop my connection now, I'm going to literally walk over there and rip your service out. So, but yeah, overall, just, by the way, I want to shout that out. Can you believe that's actually a thing for
Yeah,
the
like
Ravensbane title?
that's what I'm saying.
That's not gonna happen for me, man. I don't think that.
I'm like,
I
oh
straight up don't
well.
think it's gonna happen. I was like, one of my friends was working on the Riven fight long enough with some people. They kind of had the damage phase, but it's just like, so like you've seen the raid enough now. You've seen what's in there with the symbols and everything. Do you think it's like, is it really necessary for them to make 4 fish, 4 birds, 4 dragons? So if you're not gonna do things like Roman numerals be like 1, 2, 3, 4. If
Yeah.
it's not gonna be that, can at least be separate animals, maybe a bird,
Yes.
a rat, a fish, a tiger,
Yes,
a
I
lion.
agree.
Like at least make them
Multiple
distinct.
variations of the same
Yeah,
type
not
of.
like a dragon holding a stick on this side, a dragon holding a stick in its mouth, an upside down
Yeah.
dragon. Like, and that's why people made those things where you can say like, 8 snake, like infinity snake, like
Yes.
that stuff. I mean, you can say them quick, but it's like, what if it was just snake? You would still have enough stuff and enough distinction in there. Why you have to make 4 of the same?
That is true. That is
Like
an
that,
interesting.
some of that
design
stuff
choice.
seems like those are some of the things where a buddy of mine was saying it's like, I know the raid's difficult, but I mean just the call outs, it's like it's almost overly so. And I know people do it. It's like it's been done, obviously,
Mhm.
but one of his friends did the Petron 5 times already and kept getting, oh my god. They did the Petron 5 times and got guitar arrows. I would probably give up or like petition Bungie and be like, dude, go look at my gameplay. It's in there. I'm not doing this again. My hair is gone. All of my hair is gone. So, it's just like, I understand they made it hard. Now, this is one of the things I was talking about them. If they ever wanted to use guided games in a great way,
Mhm.
what if they literally like halved the mechanics in the raid and made that the guided games raid? What do you think? I mean,
Interesting.
seriously, like take Callie for example.
Right.
Say there's only one symbol on each. So
Mhm.
say 2 people hold down a platform instead of having to solo a platform. So you
Right.
literally could have 3 people Sherpa 3 people. I
Mm.
mean, that's that fight that I thought of, but you could do that for a guided games raid and actually have that thing be viable.
Mhm.
That's what they need to do with like that type of. They need to make, since they made the raid basically they made it hard mode. That's just the only option. They need
Right.
to make like a guided games easy version so people can experience like the damn best content in the game.
No, listen, I'm with that. I want the mode to be utilized. I mean, it's this feature that they touted at the launch of Destiny 2, and it still hasn't really been expounded upon. It's still not in a good spot. So instead of that's a great idea. Instead of using these grandiose, oh, let's do the whole raid. Maybe they have these mini versions. You know what I mean? Where you take the Kali encounter, you take the Shuro Chi encounter, and it's just the encounter. You see what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
let's be honest, also finding 6 people to do something, and then also finding 6 people that got that length of a time commitment to complete all of that.
Yep.
That's challenging. So I think that is a good idea. Kind of break it up by section.
Yeah. So I mean, for the Shuro Chi fight, when you get to the puzzles, just have one.
Yeah.
Maybe they take the crystals out. Maybe you just have to kill all the ads and then you can damage her. Trying to think of Morgeth. Maybe there's just like literally half the encounter. So I mean, you still have to have 3 people who know what they're doing, but you have 3 Sherpa, 3 people looking for newbies. I mean, make voice chat a requirement because there's
True.
no way in hell.
No way you're gonna do it without voice chat. But I will say this: if they're gonna do stuff like that to Sherp, I kind of will feel a way if they're getting similar style rewards for that kind of a raid run. If you know what I mean. You get me? Because if they're doing, you know, puzzles with, not the full difficulty of the joint because they're new, I don't want them coming out there with, curated god rolls and you know what I'm saying? Like we just gotta be careful with the rewards on the Sherpa if they're being Sherpered in this type of fashion.
Yeah.
I
Well, I
just
mean,
don't
that
want
would
it to be
also be a point where if you did the Sherpa raid, that'd be a point where my whole idea of the in-game content being how you get to 600, maybe the Sherpa raid stops giving you a boost at like 580, 590. And maybe the curated roles are not an option, it's only random.
right.
And 1,000 voices
Yeah.
straight up doesn't come from there.
That's what I'm saying. Like they
See,
can't
stuff
have the
like that.
full loot pool and full, because that will be exploited.
Yeah,
That
I
will be
mean, it
exploited.
absolutely would, but I
Hmm.
think that'd be a way. I mean, they want more people to do their best stuff. Like
Right.
Jogaroth,
Hmm.
not his name actually, but that's his Twitter handle. But those guys who do the raid, they're like, they do content. They're like, man, 20% of the people get to see this stuff, maybe 30, like depending on how many people jump
Hmm.
in. Find that way, make that
Right.
stuff easier for
Right.
a guided version. So explaining like, hey, here's these 16 symbols.
Hmm.
Like, I
No,
mean,
I definitely hear you. I
yeah,
definitely
so
hear you.
that would be. But yeah, I mean, shout out to the people doing Petros Run. That is insane. But just that made me think of like other stuff about the raid that
Yeah.
I mean, when you get into it, it's like, yeah, you got to figure out and you got to know what to call. And that's just part of like learning a difficult raid. It's not meant to be easy, but some of that
Hmm.
stuff was to a point of almost excessive. Like, I mean, the 16 symbols could be 16 different symbols. If they're not going to be like, number
Hmm.
one, two, three, and not have numbers, be like, okay, tiger, whale, fish. Like, make them
Hmm.
fairly obviously distinct so you still have a lot of things to know, but they're not like
Right.
tiger left, tiger right. Like, come on, really? Like somebody could just literally get their left and right crossed in their head for a second. And you wipe an entire raid run. Like little stuff like that is the kind of the annoyances sometimes. So
Hey, where you coming from?
yeah. But
Hmm.
other than that, guys, they got a couple music videos actually. So they got a Destiny parody for No Scrubs, and then a Smells Like Raid Spirit. So both of those are little parodies out there. I like those.
I like that. That's kind of hilarious. You gotta laugh.
Oh yeah, they were pretty good. So we
Hmm.
got of the ones on here, we got Mylan Games coming up on PC for Bungie bounties. I'm sorry if I don't know you guys as streamers. Not calling you out. These are just the ones I know.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, that's probably most of them. I've heard. I know Lucky and Butt Wipe. They've been streamers and stuff. I don't know as many of the other ones, but shout out to all these guys. Like, go jump in, see if these are times when you play Destiny. See if you pair up against them. If you're on the platform, if you're on PlayStation, if you're on PC. Not a lot of Xbox love on this chart. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I noticed. Woe is us.
Woe is the Xboxers. Just join the PC world. It's time, sir.
No,
It's time.
Xbox One X, you ain't got HDR like how I got HDR.
I got
you
HDR.
don't, you don't know, not the levels that I got it. It's very expensive for you guys to do it, but that's another discussion.
Well, that's a different thing. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
well, HDR is a little different when it's like 144 hertz. So
Yeah, oh, no doubt, no
it's
doubt,
going to
no
look real
doubt,
fancy when we do get there. But yeah, it takes a
no
little
doubt.
while for that to go from, oh, here's your general TV stuff at like 30 frames
Hmm.
per second, 60 or
Hmm.
120 frames per
Oh,
second
insane,
at the
insane.
fidelity and 4K and all the fun
Oh, it's
stuff. Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
It's
So,
insane.
but when it gets there, it's beautiful.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, guys, that is most of what we got. You got anything else for the week?
No, I
I
mean it's
feel
pretty
like this
much it.
one went quicker than I thought it would, actually.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be more of a long point. Yeah, no, this is it, man. I mean, I am definitely excited for next week. Obviously we got the patches coming, right? We got two, which we have one launching in conjunction with this one, correct?
Yeah,
On Tuesday.
2.0.4 is Tuesday.
Yes.
And then
Right.
the 30th, 2 weeks from now, will be the kind of, I don't want to say bigger patch, but it's definitely patch 2. Let me see if I can find
Hmm.
it real quick. Because, of course,
Right.
I have another monitor bonus.
Hmm.
I think it was last week they talked about it.
Yeah.
So that's
It was
about,
two.
yeah, that's all the malfeasance. Yeah, so 2.0.5,
Mhm.
rebalancing some perks. You've got sword damage in PvE, fusion rifle in PvE, the
Mhm.
malfeasance quest stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, 2.04.
Yeah,
That one.
exotic duplicates, the Nightfall exclusive drops, Masterwork
Yeah.
cores. That stuff's all coming. So that's actually probably going to be the bigger one on the 30th.
Mhm. Right.
This one will
30th is big.
definitely,
Yeah,
yeah.
30th is big, but still, for me, I just want only thing I want to go over with the one that's coming on Tuesday 16th. Obviously we're gonna get more things than Edge, Edge Transit in the legendary heavy slot, power
Yep.
slot.
Yeah.
That's
So
one. But remember, guys, dust off those scout rifles.
yes.
Scout rifles, the damage is gonna be buffed. So that nerf that that stealth nerf that was on scouts, since because I don't know if you guys know, scouts feel terrible in
Oh,
PvE.
they suck.
They suck. They're not good, especially in Gambit, because I'm like, damn, that's what I really think will be effective, and I want to use them, and I can't. So dust those off. That should be good. Looking forward to that, and the rest is like more little quality of life stuff for that. But don't sleep on that little update, is what I'm saying. So I am personally looking forward to that.
Shout out to Award and Shiny. He's like, less edge transits. Broken game. I'm done. I'm out. Nope. Gotta have my edge transits. But yeah, you got Fire
Salute.
and Flood, Zenobia D, Crooked Fang. All that stuff's going to be in there, which is always a good thing.
Hmm.
Scouts getting a boost that they desperately need. Like, even just, I mean, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm like, I get a scout rifle. It just goes straight to my vault. It's like I want to
Yeah.
set up dim to literally scout rifle,
Hmm.
vault it. Like, doesn't even matter. Transmat effects into the collections will be a nice little thing just to clean some stuff up, which isn't really an issue. The name over the lost sectors kind of takes away the need for me to make some videos, but that's probably okay. They were going to be fairly pointless videos.
Hmm.
But yeah, the one on the 30th, sword damage in PvE, fusion rifle
Hmm.
damage in PvE, viability of malfeasance in PvE and gambit activities. So
huge.
like those
That's
three
huge.
are big already.
Hmm.
Visibility of the Titan Shield, the exotic duplicate drops, things like that, but they'll have a higher chance for Forsaken drops.
Right.
Nightfall rewards are going to have that continued addition of basically higher and higher chance at that exclusive drop. If you don't get it, keep running it, and
Hmm.
that chance will go up. Masterwork cores are rewards for wanted spider bounties and scrapper bounties. I'm kind of
Hmm.
curious the number. I swear if they just make it one, I'm still going to be like, oh. But I mean, that's an incentive. That's a way to go grind. Like, we'll
Hmm.
see like 15 of them or something.
Yes.
Reducing the time for single shader deletion, and then a fix for Ascendant Primeval Servitor for the wrong team. Like, just good things
Yeah.
coming on both. So,
Quality of life, man.
yeah.
Quality of life.
I mean, and this is kind of the thing they've done. They had patches for pretty much all of 2018, January, February, March, April, May. Like, they had patches. We got Warmind out. We had more stuff coming. We got Forsaken. We got 2 patches in October. November is probably going to be, it sounds low key, but maybe like a quality of life before the Black Armory drops.
Yeah.
And then Black Armory. Have you heard that there's like a black
Hmm.
weapon type?
Yes, and there's a lot of truth to these rumors. Reddit's been popping.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
It's
truth
that
to these
Anon,
rumors.
whoever the dude
Yeah.
whoever leaked basically most things with Forsaken has been doing it again. So I don't know if
Hmm.
it's like Bungie being like, here, go leak this stuff, like you kind of know what you're talking about. Because
Hmm.
I feel like it's some of it, unless somebody just like put a little like bug on one of their servers and be like, all right, I've got all the information,
Hmm.
I can hack in, or somebody's doing it intentionally. Because man, that stuff is way too accurate. I don't know where they could get it from if they don't have an inside source. Because
Yeah, it's super accurate, and how I know it's some truth to it is because of the fact that remember during the Forsaken Game Informer, remember they were leaking like crazy. They were giving us all this Forsaken blowout coverage, like literally 2 months before Forsaken dropped. Remember this? And during that time, they talked about it. They said they did mention, they thought about a black weapon type or something like that for the future, but that won't none of that stuff will be in Forsaken. But they mentioned a black weapon type specific that's going to be, something with more of a hierarchy or rarity than exotics themselves.
yeah, I'm
So
like, I don't even know how that's gonna work.
I
Can you
know.
have an exotic and a black weapon equipped?
How could I know? How's it gonna
I
work?
know, but I'm
It's
like, is
interesting.
that? I mean, when the dude looks like he's holding something that looks like it fell off of a ship, like cannon, it's a huge looking railgun. I don't know what it is.
Shout out.
It looks like the size of my body turned sideways. So
Shout out to a water in your chat. He just said something absolutely hilarious. I'm not gonna repeat it, but it's absolutely
Cute
hilarious.
Lat's over there like we're joking about sparrows that we want, and we're just like I want 170 sparrow speed. Actually, the edge shell, I want that. I want an edge transit ghost shell. That's a
Yo,
must. It's
shout
gotta
out to
be.
Dog Shadow Wolf in my chat. He said heavy machine guns are back. Yeah, I need
Oh,
my
dude,
Thunderlord,
heavy
baby.
machine guns. I cannot.
Woo!
Those in PvP were my go. I don't care if
Oh,
it
my
was
go-to.
I don't care if it was rockets. What or
Yep.
I mean swords. What else was in there? Rockets, swords,
Rocket
heavies.
swords, heavy. You talking about D1?
Yeah,
That's yeah, pretty much,
yeah.
isn't it? Because
I
there was
mean, like
grenade
rockets
launchers
were
and
good
just
for one, but man, I would get like 4 or 5 kills
5
with my
kills
machine
with
guns.
heavy
Oh,
machine.
like I
Mm.
would not pick. I would get that heavy weapon, and my goal was to get that machine lord medal
Yes,
every time I
yes,
had that thing.
yes.
Every time. I love
Talk
that
about it.
those things. So I'm
Loved it.
curious how much ammo is gonna come back for those. That'll be kind of a key
Mm-hmm.
because I mean you had to have a decent clip. You
Mm-hmm.
had to have
Yeah.
like because I mean it's like usually 3 or 4. They're pretty quick and powerful shots. They
Mm-hmm.
die fast, but I mean you got to have like 20, 25 shot. I mean you got to have a decent amount of ammo in that heavy weapon or heavy to be able to do anything. To compare with grenade launchers now, you have to have a decent sized clip. So
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm still really curious about the Black Armory and the heavy machine guns and The new raid lair. What?
Oh, and yo, we gotta salute them real quick too. We're not going back to the Dreaming City to do the raid lane.
No, we're not.
Woo! That is progress. We cannot understate what I gotta call my man Gaming Addict. Oh, shout out to Addict. People are like, yo, we need to bring him on. I was like, no, we don't.
Yeah, it's a balance. It's a
Shout out to
balance.
Addict. We love the balance. That's my homie.
Yep.
But no, seriously. But he when I don't think he knows. So I'm gonna break the news to him, which is his biggest complaint against D2 raid layers was the fact that everything always went back to the Leviathan, that the story was not connected, you know what I'm saying, thematically to the raid layer.
Yep.
And Black Armory looks like it's doing that. We got that Gaunt character, who's apparently had lore from D1 on some fusion rifle. I don't even remember, but that's another story. And then, yeah, apparently, like I said, it's going to be, the rumor is either the EDZ, right? Or is it the EDZ or is it Titan?
I
Where
heard
the
it was
latest one?
EDZ. Yeah, EDZ
Yeah.
and somehow maybe Vex too.
Yes, that's what I heard too. So that's pretty exciting.
I don't even know how that works because Vex is not on. Vex has not been on Earth.
I'm very curious about it. This is cool. Curious to see what the whole mystery of this Gaunt character, and to see what we're gonna go up against in
Yeah,
this
like,
raid
well, I
land.
mean, he's like
And they're calling it one last thing. They're calling it a bubble location. So some type of
what?
expansion on like an EDZ. So it's the vibe
Like
I'm
plague
getting.
lands or
I don't know the vibe. I mean,
like a sew it onto the area, or is it on its own
yeah,
piece? Like,
the vibe I'm getting like almost like an extension of. So I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I just like how all this is sounding. And again, keeping the narrative of the story campaign of a DLC into a raid layer. I will not complain about shortnesses of raid layers if they do it, because let's be real, right? Eater of Worlds is a great raid layer from mechanic standpoint, and it's decent.
oh
It's a
yeah,
good
people
fight.
enjoyed the fight. Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
cool fight.
but it's just like it just didn't have anything really to do with anything, you know, overall overarching story. So to see this kind of stuff, and as long as they do, the narrative and a couple cinematics here and there, I'm not expecting Last Wish. I'm gonna be, I'm saying, I'm not Last
No,
Wish
yeah, you
is.
can't go that. It's a
I'm
lair.
not
It's
going
not a
there.
full raid.
Right,
It can't be that big.
a layer. I'm gonna be realistic, but they're all. What I'm saying is, they're already off on the right foot, in my opinion. When I hear things like that, what do you think?
I mean, for me, there's enough in the Dreaming City. It could be there because it's an entire destination. It's not just been like start the raid and then go down. As you said, apartment 2B. We've said it multiple times. You don't go like down the stairs instead of up the stairs. Like that's in the Dreaming City. It has enough space and room where they could totally make like literally a new portal to go into place. Like they could put
Hmm.
something in there. But if it is its own self-contained story that progresses it forward, I'm on board either way. So.
Yeah.
So I was like, if it was in the Dreaming City, it's a full destination. They got plenty of space. They could do anything with that. But if it's of its
Hmm.
own story, if its own thing, my only issue with the offset,
Talk to me.
um, I mean, if it's EDZ, it connects because we know Mercury was a waste.
Right.
Um, but and if it's something like Plague Lands, that would be kind of cool. I don't picture it being that big
Me neither.
because that was like a Rise of Iron expansion. That was a
Mhm.
noticeable chunk for a full expansion. As it's just an annual pass thing, as it's in your mind like a $10 piece of content, I don't know
Mhm.
how it's gonna work. Like if it's gonna like overtake the EDZ and it completely
Mhm.
revamps it. Maybe they give it
Good
like
point.
maybe they give it just cosmetic overdue. There's
Mhm.
words that are not coming to my head right now. That there are better words for
Mhm.
that. Um, but
Mhm.
yeah, I'm honestly kind of curious. And then also Gaunt. Apparently he's also EXO, but he
Yes.
doesn't have a number, so he's never died.
Yes. That is
So
interesting.
he's like, I don't know if because he runs the damn armory, it's like, well, you can't kill me because I got the best weapons ever, and now you get a chance to
Mm.
see him. I don't know. As for the
Heard
raid
some
lair,
heard something about wizards or some and stuff too. I heard a lot of things with him. There's some lot of mission. Apparently, the raid layer also secrets about him that maybe he don't want us to find. It's a lot going on with this.
yeah. So I mean, if this is part of the, I mean, if they can do it right, if we got a decent raid lair, a couple encounters, they know we want bosses more than one. So if they can even throw two in there with maybe a jumping puzzle, something
Right.
fun, something kind of extends the story, gives us more to do. And see, that I would like too, as you said, if it was EDZ with a new coat of paint, that is how you progress a game forward. And that is something that I would really like to see.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Again, keeping expectations in check. We've had an amazing expansion with Forsaken. This is not a full blown expansion of that level. This is an expansion in itself, and it's gonna have content and it's gonna have a raid layer. But I'm just excited to see, what it's gonna be. Shout out to Dark Shadow of my chat. He said, he would like for the raid layer completions to average like 90 minutes, not too long, not too short. So I'm like, I
Yeah,
hear you, I hear you.
I could
Little
see that.
balance. Mhm.
Award over in my chat just broke me. He's
Uh-oh.
like, I'd like to see us fight taken bureaucratic DMV workers in the raid lair. Maybe one mechanic could be you take a certain symbol, then you have to wait 3 hours until
Mhm.
they call that symbol. Now serving jumping
Mhm.
fish, and yeah, just like all right. Now we're getting a little off track there. No, I'm just kidding. No, that's freaking hilarious. I'm losing it over here, so I just gotta
Oh man,
maintain
so
composure.
good.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, just the little bits I've heard, the data mining, whatever's going on for that thing. November is going to be cool. It's going to be a bit of a downtime because people are going to be buried in Red Dead, stuff like that. Give it a little breathing room, and then start hyping it back up for that annual pass for whatever's coming with the forge, the armory, and all that stuff. And honestly, like, if even half of this crap's true, I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, do stuff like that. Have your expansions change
Hmm.
change the game. Use the spaces you want, but give them a new coat of paint. So then everybody who's playing is like, oh man, that's cool.
Hmm.
But you just can't get
Nice.
to you can't get to the raid layer or you can't get to the black armory without the expansion.
Yes. I'm cool, man. I'm cool with it. This is good stuff, man. Good times. The train keeps rolling. Good times in Destiny, man. This is it's like we complained about content and now we just can't get it. You know what's so funny, E? Realistically, I can't even legitimately think about Black Armor. I can't believe it's so close. And I feel like I haven't done all I need to do with Forsaken.
No. Like Shattered Throne next week, I gotta work on the Wish Ender. It means I gotta run that thing like multiple times.
This is a
Um
beautiful time, man.
oh
They're
yeah.
they're in stride. They're in the right stride right now, and I think it's very key for them because I remember we talked about this in those flashpoints. We know some stuff is looming. We got the Red Dead, you got
Yep.
you got Anthem and all that stuff next year. The Vision too, early next year. But to see them in this good run, and it's just good to see. It just shows me like, look, man, Destiny ain't going out without a fight, man. They're gonna be here.
No.
They,
I mean they
they
brought
keep this up. Yeah,
everything.
because they make it very Destiny right now makes it very hard for me to play other games when I'm in my house.
Oh my
It's
god,
very
yes.
hard. It's such a selfish game. So many good things to do
No, I will
that
say
it's
for you, if you haven't tried it yet, since I know you travel and use your Switch a lot, do you have Dead
all the
Cells
time.
yet?
Oh, of course. Now, see,
Okay.
this is why the Switch saves me because when I'm at home, Destiny, Xbox One X, that's consuming my life. I have all my friends, my entire clan. It's insane. I'm playing that constantly. But then when I'm not home, I still have these game experiences that that's why I get a lot of my third party stuff on the Switch. So I can at least play it because I know I wouldn't play it at home.
Oh
So I
yeah,
got Dead
no.
Cells. I wouldn't play that on console,
How much
right?
have you played on that? I kind of got into it a little more recently. I had
I
I was going through
literally
and I was doing like 5 10-minute runs, and I finally had I finally beat the damn like first boss I'd come across, the concierge. Finally got to
Nice.
him the first time, so that was cool. So,
No, I literally just downloaded. I just started because what it
oh, you
was is
haven't
how
played it that much yet?
I haven't played it yet,
Oh,
only from the standpoint because I was gonna buy it in Kaibatsu. Lord Kaibatsu, shout out to him. He told me wait because Nintendo game sharing started.
huh?
So we did,
The hell is
yeah. So we
that?
doing game sharing, and I'm like, oh, so I was like, let me at least download it before I forget because I was like, oh, you picked that up, good. I don't have to pick that up, that kind of thing. So yeah, that's what we do. So shout out to Kaibatsu on that one. Hey,
Yeah, no,
we're
I got
not
the
cheating, Snaldo. That's a feature by Nintendo. Xbox Live also, so no one's cheating.
you
Sharing
guys.
Nintendo Switch day, yo, Snaldo's going in on me right now.
Yeah. So,
Oh my god.
it's a good
Anyway,
time
that's
to
all
be
I
a
got.
gamer, but it's about the best time it's ever been to be a Destiny 2 player. So, for all you guys that have been in chat, it's been lit this morning. QLat,
Sure.
welcome. You're definitely running things this morning over in
Mhm.
mind. Shadow Wolf, Snaldo, Sinister, all you guys,
Yes.
Arkill.
Arkell, yeah, so salute. A lot of new faces in the chat too. Dog shout Jethro, a lot of people, man. Good Aqua, if I'm pronouncing that correct. Yeah, been a lot of cool people in the chat. Thanks for engaging us, man. This is
Yeah.
fun.
So this is actually a pretty good one to wrap it up on. Jethro, what? He's curious. What is everyone's favorite activity in Forsaken?
Ooh.
Favorite activity could be Strike, could be a Gambit map, could be Shattered Throne. So anybody in chat on both sides, what is your favorite activity in Forsaken?
Mm-hmm.
Um, take a
What's
few
yours?
seconds. Oh, you're gonna make me go first?
What you got to go first? I talk
Why?
too
It's
much.
your chat. Did you
All right,
say
I
I
go
talk
first.
too much or you talk too much?
No, I said I talk too much.
Oh, I feel like I
Oh,
talk too much today, so that's good.
that's why it's always long point for both of us because we love to
Yep.
talk. All right. So I wait for chat. All right, no, nobody's responding to my chat yet. So what I'll say for me, favorite activity. I can't believe I love Gambit as much as I do because of the fact. I think what it is now, I've really got good strategies and loadouts. And like I'm really shout out to Jethro. He said love some Gambit even with sleeper meta. Yes, salute,
Yep.
salute. Even with the sleeper meta. Yep, I'm still loving it because I know how to play it. You just can't peek, man. You gotta hide behind things. You gotta look. You gotta be safe. You gotta look at your radar. But yeah, it's Gambit, man, because it's just that whole strategy of melting a primeval, and I have great. I'm coming in there with Luna factions, so I can melt my primeval, pretty fast. I don't. You know what's funny? I don't invade a lot. And I'm actually a good solo play. I don't play a lot of my clanmates in game. I usually time I'm playing by myself. And one thing that I do is my specialty is I am going to focus when the invader comes in and I'm going to kill invaders, right? Once invaders are killed, then I'm going to put my Well of Radiance down, you know, and I'm going to support the team and we're going to melt this primeval. So my thing, and then I'm giving out blessings and divine protection. Like I'm the ultimate support gambit player. I think that's why my teams win because if there's anybody, and if I'm teamed with someone like an addict who's good at like going and invading and killing,
Yeah.
forget it because it's just healing primal. So Gambit, I got really good, and then what made it Gambit even more is I'm gonna keep it real. I feel the loot pool in Gambit is just amazing. Trust, bygones, hazard of the cast. I got all with great
I'm gonna get
rolls.
so much shame to say that I trust is gonna have to grow on me because right now something about that gun doesn't feel right to
What's the
me.
roll? What's the roll you got? What's the roll? What's the roll?
No, but it can be the roll or otherwise. I don't know if it's the recoil, the way that gun fires or
It does
feels.
feel
To me,
different.
it is a different gun, and for me, it's just
Yes.
throwing me off. So like,
No, it's different. It's
I know
different. I
people
give you
love
that.
the gun, so I was like, I gotta get on board eventually.
Hmm.
But for me, right, it's either the way the recoil is, whether it's the scope, something
Hmm.
about that gun feels off to me, and it's just one of those like I go to fire it, and I'm like, why do I feel like I'm trying to shoot like the wings off a fly? I'm like, I can't aim, man. It
Yeah,
just does
it's
not
a
want to
different
happen.
feeling one. And shout out to what you call dog shot blind well. Okay, that's what's
No,
up. Blind
there you
well.
go.
Okay, there you go. I like blind well. Blind well. I think for me, blind well was fun the first couple of times. Now I'm like, I'm a little over it. But I loved it when I had to go get my subclass in there. I'll
Yeah,
tell you
that
that.
was cool.
So what's your chat
So I
say?
think on
Everybody in
my
chat?
side we got
Yeah, what you say?
Gambit. Actually started with Kronos.
Mm-hmm.
Kronos killed it all. He said deleting edge transits.
That's just favorite activity.
Somebody just saying, let's see, we got Gambit, Vanguard Strikes, also patrols in the Dreaming City. I know somebody else said Ascendant Challenges, which honestly, to me, those have been a lot of fun. They've been stuck on the wanted bounties, like the same thing 3 weeks in a row, which is annoying.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, those have been cool because they've been a different mechanic every time too. But Ascendant
Yeah.
Challenge is cool. But for me personally,
Talk to me.
when I stepped into the Shattered Throne, that was it.
3-man raid, baby.
Three
Have it, yeah.
man mechanics,
Yeah.
the feel of it, the scale. I mean, you
Scale
look
of it,
around in there,
yeah.
you're like, this place is huge, and then it just
Yeah.
keeps going, and I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Shattered Throne for me was like, I mean, watching the raid is like, it's amazing. I did Shirochi, I did Kali, and then got to Morgath, and just our team was not like just didn't have
Yeah.
it together. So I mean, the
I
raid
loved
is
I love this
cool.
I love those two encounters, to be
The
honest.
first two,
I really love those two encounters because I love the idea of hiding in that little hotel room. Sometimes I like a good straightforward DPS phase.
yeah.
Sometimes you miss we ain't gotta always mechanic something all the time. Sometimes you just want to get in there and rough something up. And I like that Cali aspect. And the Shiro Chi thing, because of the speed and the tension, and my music, boy. Woo! So yeah, that's
Mm,
up there too. That's
yeah.
up there too.
Yeah, so I mean the raid for sure, but yeah, I mean the Shattered Throne was what was never even something I knew was coming. And then when I
Hmm.
stepped in, I was like, "Hey, let's check this out." I've not really looked at. I was like, "Oh my god." Yeah, I know some of
Hmm.
you guys out there are lower light level, can't get people to do it. Cute lad as well. You said if you don't have folks to do it, get to a high enough level. There is a triumph to solo that thing. Now, of course, you guys know eventually if it's not this coming week, which I still don't know if I'm going to be high enough. At some point, I'm going to get a guide for you guys to solo that thing.
Yeah.
But even if you can't solo all of it, there are 3 drops from it. And the first encounter, if you're high enough level, Oscar's like low level. Yes, I know. Once you're high enough, because like once you get far enough in there, especially to see the ogre, it's about 580. So I mean, it's not low level stuff. 570, 580, you're gonna want to be up there. I'm
Hmm.
trying to think what we did it at first. I think 545, maybe 550. We did the first encounter or two, and actually probably did okay.
Hmm.
Um, but no, that's even try it solo because if you're patient, you work through it. There's no time limit. There's no nothing. Step into that place, and it's so much fun. It's. I never saw it coming, and it's like an ascendant challenge to like up to the to the 10th level. It's so cool. So yeah,
Hmm.
I'm
I
fanboying over
agree.
that one. But yeah, Shattered Throne was mine. I mean, the raid I
Nice.
expected to see coming, but to be completely blown away by the Shattered Throne,
Yeah.
had no idea. So no, the mine is definitely that.
Hmm.
And I think
Absolutely.
one of my dogs is on a walk because Enzo is back to doing his wolf howl. I can hear him in the background.
Salute,
Yep,
Salad and
salute to
Wolves
the
that live
wolves.
with
Yep.
Ebontis.
Hold on, I'll let you guys hear it. Hold on.
Let me hear. Let me hear the Rise of Iron DLC. I, I heard something.
The door's open now. We'll see if he does it again.
See if he does it.
But yeah,
He's shy.
so yeah, solo Nightfall with 100,000 score. I will work on that once I'm 600 power level because I'm gonna need all the point modifiers I can get on that one. But
Hmm.
otherwise, guys, I think we're getting close to 2 hours, so I know we rambled on for these last little bit. But honestly, for you guys in chat, it's been awesome this morning. I know the more people following both of us, the better. If you guys are in my Twitch chat right now, go over to YouTube, click on Iron Lord's podcast, hit subscribe. I want you guys to give them some
Thank you,
extra this
bro.
morning.
Oh,
Spread
thank
the
you.
word, send them over. So if
Much
you guys are in
appreciate, man.
Twitch, do it right over there.
And likewise, man. All you guys that, like I said in the chat, on RP, please subscribe to Ebontis. Tremendous content, tremendous and great guides, man. Very, very patient, very astute, very detailed. If you're trying to do something, I've been using them myself, man. It's in the solo runs, man. Because a lot of times, what's happening for me is I've been using you guys a lot, honestly, because a lot of times I don't have a very limited time, and I'm on Destiny probably when I shouldn't be. 'Cause I'm just so mad that I got real life stuff I got to do. So I'll be offline playing Destiny, and I'm like, all right, let me try soloing some stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't,
Yeah,
I
you
don't
got it.
want
I
to
mean,
bother
that's
people.
everybody has those moments where you're like, not
Yeah,
everybody's on. It's just me. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. I should be sleeping, or it's lunch and
exactly.
I'm home. Like, not everybody's always on, and that's kind of one of the reasons. But yeah, if you guys want long-winded, detailed things, yeah, that's my way.
Mhm.
I'm not going to be your short, succinct. I'm going to give you guys the run through, hopefully cover builds, but I try and go through as much as I think that will help you guys. Sometimes it may be long-winded, but most people who seem to jump in, I get the few downvotes, and honestly, that's just one of those that so is the internet. But most of you guys appreciate them, and if there's ever anything I can do to improve them, believe me, I read every comment.
Yes,
So
he does. Yes, he does.
definitely leave one on there if
Absolutely.
there's anything I can do to improve. If you're like, hey, shorten this up, put it all on screen, go over it real quick, shut up and just do
Mhm.
this. I mean, whatever it is. Some people just be like, stop talking. But generally, yeah. So I mean, thank you guys for both, but definitely share the love between both of these two sides. If you got
Much
anybody
appreciated.
looking for just a gaming podcast, if they like Xbox in any way, shape, fashion, or form, it doesn't have to be Xbox, just gaming in general. All those guys over there, and King said it best, we're all gamers. We love
Mhm.
games, and we have fun playing these things. So, like fanboys aside,
Yes.
like the interviews they get, some of the, like the information you've got from like Matt Piscatella from the
Yeah,
NPDs, and then
he's
back
a
from the
great man.
lawyers, and I haven't got
Mhm.
to the one from what am I thinking
Which,
of?
which one?
The really detailed digital
Oh, you
guys.
got to get digital.
Digital
John
Foundry.
Leonard.
Digital Foundry.
Gotta get that. That was one of
That's
our
the
better,
next one that's going to be up on my. I've been
bro.
catching up on all my podcasts, so that I mean, come on. If you guys don't know in the world of technical stuff, those are the guys who break down like frame rates on games and how things, and they're very very technical guys. It's like depends on your wants. Absolutely. So I mean, there's some awesome stuff on there. Definitely some always good content.
Much
Um,
appreciated, man.
but yeah, thank you guys all for both. Just the growth on this. We've had
Mhm.
almost up to like 20 viewers in my Twitch chat for this thing. For me, that's good. That's
Nice.
awesome. It's been
Salute.
really cool. So,
Salute. Shout out to
um,
QD Lack in your chat. He's lit.
dude, he's just in it this morning.
I
He was
like
like,
him. You gotta bring him next time.
where you
Yeah,
from? He said English wasn't his first language, so I'm actually curious where he's from.
salute
But
to him, man.
yeah,
He has
shout out.
been lit in chat, making me laugh.
Yeah, Kronos just killing me with the deleting edge transits though. It's like favorite
Yes.
activities, just crossing another one of those off the list. Yeah,
Absolutely.
trying to steal my little masterwork core from the spider every day.
Oh yeah, I gotta log in before I get off. Just remind me.
Exactly. Yeah,
I
just
gotta
remind.
get my
Gotta get my
call.
gotta get my
call
10.
before I go
Gotta
to
get my
bed.
10 shot. From
Exactly.
Poland. Very cool.
No.
Halfway across the ocean. So, yep. I think that's where we'll wrap it up, guys. The land of Poe. But thank you guys. Been an awesome chat this morning. We love doing this, and we love the more you guys chat, the better these are. So thank you both on both sides. Cognito, you want to wrap your side up first?
Yeah, man. As you already know, you already know. So please subscribe to both our channels. We already said that incessantly. Yeah, this Sunday we will be Iron Law Podcast will return on the Tick Network. We will be live in the live chat. So make sure you are there. No guests this week. We're keeping it smooth, but we got a lot of great topics. Maybe a cameo here and there. We'll see. Maybe we get a cameo to come in.
We'll see.
But yeah, next week we'll have a very special one. I'll break that next Flashpoint. We have a nice special one for fans of a specific game. So that should be cool.
Fans of a specific game. Way to give us specifics.
Don't you love it? Don't you love my detail? But yeah, we'll be on Football Sunday, the Inner Circle Network, 11 a.m. That we will start, and that is the Lord Sunday. Every Sunday is the Lord's Day. We'll have a good time. We'll talk about what's going on in the industry and all the latest topics between Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. It's fun. Come in the live chat, have some fun with us. It's great. And then also we have the stream team guys. Salute to Sonaldo, which I seen in the chat. El Boogie, old school style. We're gonna be doing more things on the Iron Law Podcast channel, YouTube channel. We have original content there. Also, a lot of interviews. E3, we go to shows, we go to PAX, we do all these things and try to give you guys exclusive content. And of course, the greatest two-man Destiny podcast you've ever heard. Of
Oh my
course, Flashpoint in the building with YouTube Gaming's own Lord Ebontis. Solo Night Falls. Solo Ascendant Challenge.
I still don't even know what to do with the YouTube gaming stuff, man. That is, yeah, if you guys want to know what he's talking about, by the way, just go to trending, click on gaming, and I'm like 4
Boom.
down.
Boom. Respect. Put respect on his name.
The
He's
only
out here.
problem with that little shout out, especially as it's on the gaming page, that stuff is like 2 or 3 weeks old. One's from the 18th, one's from the 25th, it's Zer from the 28th, so it's not current.
We're not going to besmirch the great name. This is monumental. I've seen this man grow from my first Guardian Con, and he's become greatness. Respect it.
Simmer down,
I'm proud
sir.
of
Simmer
Seriously,
down.
all jokes aside, very proud of you, bro.
Thank you,
You
man.
work very hard. Love what you do, and it's really an honor to do this show with you because we're both two nuts that love talking about Destiny.
Yeah,
we
we're
can't
two
stop
nuts
talking about it.
starting this thing back in January like dumbasses, but that's all right. We made it this time, and now we got a good group. So remember us, little people, when you make it big. Thanks, Award. No, you guys are awesome. So thank you guys very much. It's awesome. I think we'll wrap it up. You guys will find this one sometime over the weekend. I'll schedule it, so Saturday or Sunday if you want to listen to it, or share it with a friend. If somebody who likes Destiny and just kind of wants to know what's coming and what has been going on, let them know about it. So I'm still working on the audio piece. That will be eventual, trust me. But other than that, guys, thank you very, very much. For me, you guys know where to find me. It's Twitch, Twitter, YouTube. It's Ebontis everywhere. Subscribe, follow, and send the love to both of these places we got out here. Iron Lords Podcast, Ebontis. Thank you guys. And I think that's where we'll wrap it up. Have a good one. See you guys soon. Awesome chats. Have a good one.
Peace.